answers earlier, yes or no? Because my stance
Yeah,
was Dream's better.
I'm better than Dream, and you're saying Dream's better. Yeah, it's fine. Okay, so
Okay.
I would say the line of scaling from what I've seen for Dream would literally just be above a hoodie from the past. The only other line of skill that you can use, this is like my opening statement. Only other lines of skill that you can use is like over DC hoodie, who isn't relative to me. I'm gonna need if you're gonna make that affirmative stance, then I'm gonna need you to prove that. And then I will say I have consistent lines of skilling over Dream. We both already agreed that I beat Dream once and he lost to me once, and you try to say that's like an
No,
inconsistency
no,
without any form of
no, no.
inconsistency.
Wait,
And
no.
then I'll use
That's
the
not
arrow
what we
flame,
agreed to. That's not what we agreed
and then
to.
I'll use the arrow flame feat on top of that
You
to just
just
say that it
yeah,
isn't
but no, okay.
inconsistent.
So what the issue here is right. Like, first of all, you missed. I'm assuming you spoke, but no, we agreed that he beat you and you beat him. Not that he
Yeah,
beat
that's
him
what I
and
said.
then. Okay, cool.
I said that the last debate I beat him, and then you're saying it's inconsistent because he consistently beat Hoodie, and then I
I
lost to
mean,
him
you
one time
admit
last
no, no,
episode of
no,
the
no. I
game.
meant no. You would. My base thought was you admitting that you were relative to Huddy. You gonna like? Do you think you're better than Huddy now?
Yeah.
Okay, so I said,
Yeah, no, Midnight Badton. Come on now. Come on now, don't even try and argue, please.
I mean, if you want, I can just grant you the Hoodie thing since that's like the only argument that you have.
I was just typing something out, but anyway. So yeah, Midnight. My dreams game like not that contentious. It's just like consistent with the DC community, but Huddy is over Timius. Timius relative to Azazel, Azazel over Apollo, Apollo over Jester. I don't think you skeleton
Okay.
your match beat Jester.
Can you prove that Jester is still above me?
No, it's more like currently I
Wait,
just
can you
have
see
this.
the one of scaling again?
Okay, so yeah, it's Dream over Timius,
Uh-huh.
right? Timius over Azazel.
Yeah.
Azazel over Apollo. I'm assuming you listened to that, right?
Yeah. I know that it was judged as a one. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Apollo over Gias and Jester.
Okay, I would just say that that's retconned by the fact that Jester just beat Apollo.
The issue here is he beat Apollo in politics. I mean,
Okay.
what makes it worse is he beats someone that doesn't do politics
So
on politics on
what form
American
of Apollo are
politics
you
too.
using? Like, which form
Um,
of Apollo are like
Oh, I'm
you using the
using
scaling?
average Apollo. So Apollo versus Azazel was neutral topic. It was just through language and speech, right? Normal shit.
Uh-huh.
Apollo versus Jess was on American gun law. Apollo not only does not do politics, also on American law. Apollo is a Jamaican, and then Jasper is an American, and Jasper also does
Okay,
politics.
but the
That
okay,
was an
right, but if you
wait, no,
actually
wait, I'm not
wait,
done.
hold on, wait. But if you actually watch the debate, it really just came down to which one was more logical, though.
No,
Like
I disagree. I
it didn't really
completely
have
disagree.
anything. It didn't really have any. Yeah, Jester's argument was literally just like it's better for a nigga to have a gun because of self defense, and then Apollo took the negation to that,
No,
and then
that
from
wasn't the
there
main
it was
argument.
just
That's also
argued
not
over.
why Jester won. The main reason why Jester won is he was able to demonstrate the futility of gun control laws, and his basis for that was New York crime rates and the movement of guns through American states.
Nah, there's something
No, no,
I just don't feel like
that was his
that
first.
I just don't remember that debate, so I'm gonna let you have that.
Yeah,
Okay,
because like his argument
so
was literally just
I'm
knowledge
gonna just
twisting
attack.
horribly.
I'm gonna just attack the fucking line
Okay,
scaling. So it's what Timius over who?
so it's Dream over Timius,
Okay,
Timius over Zazel.
okay.
Why dream of it, Timmy? Is
I like okay. So Dreams has consistent showings. Actually, also Dream relative to Jester directly. They had a DC
Okay, yeah,
debate
but
over relative.
isn't this whole line of scaling contingent upon Dreams like generally being known as the best DC debater? Like,
No,
why can't that just be like
wait.
his
So
overlord
actually,
and shit?
that is like part of it, but then Dream's also just like mid or high diff Jester on DC. There's a reach
He
low one.
beat Jester. Okay, when was
No,
this? Was this
no,
last
no.
year?
Jester beat him mid or high diff, but then the problem is this was also Dream. Like after you had him been debating for a minute, this was like
This is Dream
fully
who had
retired
his.
Dream.
Okay,
So yeah,
so
like fully retired Dream mid diff Jester
can
on
you
the
prove
DC.
that he got worse?
Huh?
Can
So
you prove that he got worse?
I think okay. So I think in the context of comics, if you're not reading them actively, it was like naturally get worse in relation to people that still read them.
What?
So
Okay, why?
hmm? Why? Okay, I don't think it's like
Because I
context, right?
think,
Like
wait, no, wait. Because I think that
when
what
we
you're
ask
saying
the
would be
question or
true.
not.
I think that, no, it was like a rhetorical
Okay, go
question. I
ahead.
want to elaborate. Okay. So, yeah, I think that what you're saying would be true if it's like they're talking about new things that are coming out. Because obviously, comics are like a forever expanding thing in which
Yeah,
new pieces
that's
of
what I'm
information
referencing.
obviously come out. But if it was in reference to, then we would have to delve deeper into like what was the topic? Was it something that Dream actually had knowledge on? Because obviously, he just doesn't forget
So
everything that he's been doing for
yeah,
years.
so it was most. Oh shit! Wait, let me. I could probably have talked. Actually, Tam, what topic was Dream versus Jester?
Which
You
one?
said what?
The DC debate in Reach.
It was. It was. It
Let me see
was.
if I
It
can find it on
was.
YouTube. Hold on.
it
Um.
anything new? Was it anything new?
Well, within Bleach, it's constantly new.
I could
Depending on
find.
the
I could.
year this is
It was a.
in,
It was a.
especially if this is like death metal times, like there was
It
just
was
massive
Inverse
shifts in DC
DC. I
scaling.
could find it.
Yeah, because
It's.
like
I
if
have the
it's in a
recording
DC
somewhere.
event, the scaling changes massively. Like the presence has gone from being the top of the verse to quite literally scaling to a hand of a character within like an issue in like the last few years.
Yeah, the
So
president's
it's,
not top yet
yeah,
on the board, but
yeah, like DC scaling is extremely
also,
volatile, especially
aren't y'all
if it's the
debating?
Denko
What
event.
happened? Is it done?
Yeah,
I
we
missed it.
are.
Yeah,
I
so
mean, this
Huddy,
is
I'm
kind of
just
like
like
continuing
scaling
something.
Dream to Jester, you know, the usual.
Okay, so
Why
what
don't
was,
you just
what
go
was the
Jet?
debate?
Why
I
don't
like
you do
wasn't
Jin?
listening to y'all niggas.
Huh?
I wasn't
Jin the
listening
Jester.
to y'all niggas. What was the topic?
Oh yeah, shit. Dream above Jet. Oh yeah, shit. Also, Dream above Jin, above
Okay, Hoodie just
Ferrero.
beat Jin consistent. Okay, no, Hoodie got like, oh my god, Hoodie violated that nigga, bro. Fuck
Yeah,
that, yo. I
wait.
can get
Okay,
the
but
fucking
the
recording right
problem
now.
here is though, I feel like Jim is only in his element when he's fully like using a rat force.
Jin and
What?
when
Nigga, what
last
the
time
fuck is
Jin
the rap
and
force?
Jester
What?
debated, it was
Okay,
like it was like
Wait,
it was like
if
high
you're
level.
hold on,
wait.
I can vouch that in power scaling, Ghetto Jin just lost very badly to him.
No, I think he would lose
Listen, niggas,
badly to the
this
normal
nigga,
debate. I
this
think
nigga
he's like
Jin,
Oh.
this
ratting.
nigga Jin. Okay,
Wait,
wait. Can you,
Clueless.
okay, wait. Make a distinction between Jin when he's ratting. Like, what traits does Jin have when he's ratting?
Okay,
How do you
so
know?
the main issue between Jin when he's ratting and Jin normally is that when Jin when he's ratting, like will make arguments like let me clarify. He will make statements out of nowhere. He will be lie. He will be deceitful. He will convey false truths. So he will do things that, like, obviously would
So
keep
he
you in
uses
the stream.
rhetoric?
No, not rhetoric. He will like
What?
edit scans. So he
You
will.
know,
It's not
does he
Okay,
even know
nigga,
rhetoric.
Jin
It's
enough?
but doesn't make okay.
information
Wait, hold
based.
on, wait. So he edits scans to like mislead people to think something.
Yeah. So he will quite literally.
Okay,
alter
wait. Then,
That's not
okay, wait. Then
rhetoric. Though.
I don't think that correlates back to debating ability.
No,
When
but
I
I
think
think he
about
does.
when I hold on, wait.
Hmm?
Hold on, wait. The only trace that I think matters when I'm talking about how good a debater is argumentative ability and rhetorical ability. Everything else is irrelevant.
So I
if
think
Jin is
actually, I
only,
think
so
the
if Jin is
falsification of
only good,
scans is
wait,
argumentative ability.
stop. Let me finish my scan. Let me finish my scan
Go
or my
ahead.
statement or whatever. So if you're saying that Jin is only good due to the fact that there's some like weird external force outside of the two criteria that are already listed for what makes someone a good debater or a bad debater or whatever the fuck, then I just don't care about it.
Okay, so for one, I think the falsification of scans would be linked to augmentative ability. I think augmentative ability is just a metric by which you determine the strength of one's arguments. Falsifying scans, which makes arguments hard to overcome, or quite literally just makes them not impossible to overcome, would be just like a very blatant show of good argumentation. So actually, I feel
Okay,
like
you know that you
falsifying
can,
scans is like the highest order of
you know that you
possibly.
can make. Okay, wait. When I talk about argumentative ability, I'm simply talking about the person's ability to make like a logically valid argument. Not
I
necessarily an
disagree.
argument truth value, simply like an argument that's logically valid.
Yeah,
That's
so
all
I
I mean.
think logically
So,
valid argument.
wait.
Now
So
recording.
Oh,
Shut the
damn,
fuck up,
nigga,
Craig
what the
Ball.
fuck?
Already
Niggas think
text
it's
me.
power?
fuck
What
Grey
the
Buck.
fuck?
I was thinking
Okay,
Grey Buck. Kill yourself, nigga.
like
Anyway.
word, niggas love the shit. Okay, anyway, hold on. So if this nigga just has some like weird external force that pretty much does that for him, because like let's say he's trying to come down to the conclusion that like Superman beats Spectre or some shit, right? And then he can just edit a scan that says Superman's omnipotent, therefore he beats Spectre. That literally takes away the whole like criteria of argumentative ability, because now it's no longer his debating ability that's actually allowing him to come down to the synthesis. It's just him editing a scan. It's some like weird external force. So why do you think this correlates back to his debating ability?
Actually, I think if you like get the definition of synthesis, which is to reach a higher order truth or to reach a higher truth. No, like based on the understanding of what truth meant to Hegel, the truth references like what they connote to be accurate, right? So like the truth within a debate is based
Oh.
on what is presented,
Oh.
what is most
Leave
likely.
it. What do you mean?
What are you talking about, Jay?
I said muted him. Keep
Yeah.
going.
So within Hegelian
You asked me what
dialectics,
you mean
the
for me to
truth in
judge. I was just trying
reference
to understand
isn't.
your point.
Yeah, I explain. So within Hegelian dialectics, the truth in reference isn't like based on what's actually true, but it's based on what is true with the argument presented. So I think Jin falsifying scans that increase the probability of his side being true based on the arguments presented because they minimize they maximize what he's saying being true.
Okay, you're misunderstanding what I'm saying. You're
Wait, no,
misunderstanding what I'm saying, and you're also presupposing a premise, Plutus. You're
No,
presupposing that
I'm
debate.
trying to justify my definition with that. I'm quite
Your
trying to
definition of
justify my
what?
definition of argumentation.
Which definition? Oh, argument. Okay, I make a
Yeah.
distinction between argumentation and argumentative ability.
No, okay, that's not my point. I'm going to
Which is
make
one
a
of my
definition where
criteria.
I believe fits both of them. I just believe
Okay, go ahead then.
yeah, because So yeah, I think if we're going on a Canadian dialectic, which is the point is to reach synthesis, and that's just to reach a truth based on what's presented within the debate. I think falsification of statements or scans, which within the debate just increases the evidence
Wait, can I
for
just
your
interject
side.
because I already disagree with like the whole basis, which is like Hegelian dialectic.
Okay, what dialectical structure do you like judging debates under then?
Okay, I think that within the context of Discord, obviously, like we participate in like some presupposed rules in which I guess you could say is Hegelian dialectic in a way, I guess. But that's not like what I use when I like. That's not like my criteria for what makes someone a good debater.
Okay, then what? Wait, but midnight. Then we'd have to have some structure to judge it under, and if there's no
Yeah,
structure,
I already gave the structure my two
no,
criteria:
but I disagree.
rhetorical ability and argumentative ability.
No, but again, that
If you
midnight,
disagree with it, then we can wait. If you disagree with my criteria, then we can simply
no,
discuss
but
like
midnight,
whether
we
or
need
not your
to
criteria
debate
is more valid than
structure.
mine under this context.
Yes, but midnight, we need my point is we need to debate structure to be judging these things on, because even if your rhetoric ability is good under your debate structure, if it like under like your definition of rhetoric, if
I
it
think
fails to help you in debates
yeah,
under your
I'll just
debate
answer your question.
structure of choice,
That's fine.
okay,
I'll just
go
answer
ahead.
your question. I think that my two criteria would just like flourish in every single debate structure.
I disagree.
Why?
So I think if a point of debating is to convince a crowd, so if you're being like a sophist, right? I think on that debate
Yeah,
structure,
rhetorical.
but that's no longer. But the point you missed my point here. It removes the argumentative aspect. The point of a sophist is
What?
someone that
Okay,
can make.
wait, hold on,
Wait,
stop.
I'm not done. I'm
You're
literally done.
misconstruing. You're
Yeah,
misconstruing
he's
what I'm
not done.
saying. Because what I'm saying doesn't.
Wait, minute. If I'm misconstruing it, can I at least like finish so you can tell if I'm actually misconstruing it? Cool. So I mean, like, what I'm saying here, what I'm trying to convey here is, if you're like saying these two things are
Hold on,
linked to
wait.
your
Say
argument,
that again. I got out. My
yeah.
Discord
So I
closed.
mean, if you're saying these two things are linked to argumentative ability, right? Then I can demonstrate with
I'm
you.
not saying that these two things are linked to. Wait, what two
Sorry,
things are
you're
you referencing? First
debating
of all,
or your ability to win a debate, right? When I say
you're saying
very
that they're linked to argumentative ability? No,
no,
not
your ability to
necessarily.
win a debate. That was a misspeak on my part.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's fine.
Yeah, right. And then there are like multiple systems that people
I don't
do
think that's
in the
necessarily
real
the case,
world
though. If that's what
argue
you're saying.
under, where one of these aspects is completely thrown
Did
out.
you hear
The
what I said?
misspeak is, did you say it wasn't
I
necessary?
said if you're drawing an entailment that like this thing is necessary, then I would just disagree though. I don't think that either of them are necessary.
Yeah, but then I think your stance becomes vapid if it's not necessary, because
No,
vapid
okay, wait.
becomes preference.
I misworded.
Yeah,
I meant I don't think that both of these things in synchronization with one another is necessary. Like I think that you can like overcompensate for argumentative ability simply with rhetorical ability. Like I think you can have like an argumentative ability that's really shit and still be really good rhetorically. Like we have examples of like people like Jade who literally just rep really really bad arguments, and then we have someone like Godtongue. Like did you watch the Jade vs Godtongue debate?
where Godtongue admitted to being a bad debater. I watched some of it.
A bad debater?
If I remember, but yeah, Godtongue like admitted to being ass
Yeah,
after.
no, he said he was like overrated, but niggas still think that he's good. But
Yeah.
yeah, fucking okay, yeah, but Godtongue's notoriously known for just having good arguments. That's how he beat like Aeroflame in the past or whatever, right? But Jade didn't beat him with argumentative ability. He
Yeah,
simply
that's my
beat him
point,
just
man.
because he
I
had
was
better
getting to
rhetoric.
that. I don't think argumentative ability matters.
Okay,
I
it does
don't
matter
think
because okay, wait. It does matter though because there's also instances of people that actually operate vice versa. Like we have people like Nairobi and fucking Haikyuu. Like did you see the Haikyuu versus Jester debate where Haikyuu literally just had worse, or Haikyuu notoriously known for having bad rhetoric, but literally
Hold on.
overcompensates with it due to the
Wait.
fact they had really really good arguments.
Midnight, you
Wait,
know,
hold on.
Midnight,
Wait. Hold on. Why don't to help us progress? Each person just defines what they mean by argumentative ability.
Okay, so my definition of
Also, don't
argumentative
diss my boy Haiku. He's my goat.
Yeah, Haiku's really that nigga Benny. So I think argumentative ability is the ability to form logically sound okay, proper. The ability to form hard to overcome or refute arguments, and I define rhetoric as the ability to convince people. And then obviously I define debating. Although I think the point of debating is to
Wait, you see
demonstrate.
rhetoric's ability to convince people?
Yeah, and I think I think you can have logos, which is sounding convincing because you're making arguments that are perceived to sound well, but actually making arguments that are good. For example, my Max
Okay, yeah, that's
McGrady
fine. If you're making the correlation with that in rhetoric, that's fine.
because I'm saying vapid arguments would be logos. I'm saying vapid arguments could
Okay.
still like be
Wait, hold
taken.
on. Wait, Plutus. So
Yeah, I mean, like give you a
Midnight, do
definition.
you disagree with that definition? Or is that
Which one, the
fine with
rhetoric
you?
or argumentative?
The argumentative one.
Yeah, I disagree with his argumentative definition.
All right, then just argue with that.
Okay, so Plutus, my definition of argumentation would just be, well, my not argumentation, argumentative ability would simply just be the ability to form logically sound arguments. not
Okay.
hard to overcome arguments. I think that what I'm saying can necessarily be an entailment of what you're saying, but I don't think that that's like necessarily the
Yeah,
same thing.
so I don't think your definition is useful because I think an argument can be logically sound without actually being relevant to a debate. For example, if we are debating Goku versus Ichigo, right, and then I argue all men are mortal, Socrates is a man, Socrates is mortal, right? That argument is completely logically sound. The argument is valid, but then the argument lacks relationship to the debate. So to say I have like,
Well,
I,
it isn't logically sound depending on okay. In this context, it wouldn't be. No,
no, it would be, okay, it would be sound. What you're saying is it
it
wouldn't be
would be a
relevant.
red. It would literally just be a red herring.
But that wouldn't make the argument not sound. A red herring is only in relation. Okay,
What?
so
Okay, no, it would. Okay, well, wait. If you're bringing this argument up as a negation to another person's point, if you're saying your argument's wrong due to the fact of like that, I just brought up some like weird irrelevant tangent, then yes, that would just be like it would just be illogical.
no,
Obviously, in
so
a vacuum,
disagree.
it would be logical. But in reference to you saying that your whole point is actually invalidated by these set of premises working in synchronization with one another, yes, they would just be what you call
No,
it,
but
unsound.
then now this is my argument. You would okay? Can you?
Because
Okay.
these premises
I
don't lead
need
to
more
the conclusion of what
specification
they're
on your
saying.
stance, then, right? Because like what's happening here is you're saying an argument has to be logical and valid, right? Cool. But then there's
Logically
all
valid, or I heard you say
logical
invalid. Do you
and
mean
valid,
valid?
and I said and logical and valid, right?
Logical. I think yeah. I think that would just mean it's like logically sound. Yeah.
Yeah, right, cool. And then I'm saying you can have an argument that is by definition logical and valid, but has no relevance to the debate, will not help you within the debate. So are you saying it has to be logical and valid, and then also help your side?
Am I saying it has to be logical
Yeah,
and valid and
I'm
also
asking
help?
if it also has to
Yeah, I
help
think that's. I
you.
think that. I
Okay.
think that's an entailment of it being logically sound. Yeah.
Okay, I also disagree with that then. So like my main reason for disagreeing with that is I think an argument can help your position be logical and valid, and I think it can also just I think can be formatted in such a poor way that it's like doesn't matter. For
Okay. Right.
example,
If you're formatting, well, wait. Yeah, that's important. Right. If the format of the argument in and of itself is formatted badly, and that's why the argument's shit, then that would just mean that you have bad argumentative ability. But if you can format it in a
that's not
good
too
way, and which
logic.
can't be overcompensated easily just be due to like rhetorical or
No,
argumentative
that's not
ability,
that's fall under
obviously
the
this would be an instance of
definition.
someone having good argumentative
No, but
ability.
that's
Like my
not that doesn't fall under what you gave me earlier. Like
what? Okay, you
you
literally hold
didn't
on, wait.
no,
No,
you
that
mentioned the
is what I
formatting is logic and reason or rationality, right? The ability
I
to
said that
make
is
it sound
I said that is hold on, wait. I said that it's logically sound, right? And then you drew a bunch and then you drew a bunch of entailments. And I even said before, like when I clarified, I was like, I think that what you're saying can be like a necessary entailment of what I'm saying, right? But I don't think that they're one and the same.
yeah, but now midnight. So what I did, okay, like I'm not saying they as they format their arguments in such a way that it is illogical or violates logic. I'm saying they format their argument in
Talk
such a way.
slower, your like accent's really hard to understand. I mean, so talk slower.
So I'm not saying they format their argument in such a way that it becomes illogical. I'm purely saying they can format their argument in such a way.
I said to
It's
like
still
talk
too
slower, you're
fast,
talking at the same speed. Yes,
bro.
yeah.
Oh yeah. So the S5 in modal logic, something possibly. So if
This
something's
nigga.
possible, it's certain to exist in a possible world. I agree with it, but like anyway, a bit midnight. What you
Uh-huh.
defined to me, right, was that it had an argument, well, good argumentative abilities, the ability to form valid or sound arguments, right? And they also then you also specified that are relevant to the topic at hand and forward your position, right?
Yo, wait, hold on, bro. I agreed to be a judge because I thought y'all were gonna do some fucking like comp Ichigo versus Fate or some
Me
shit
too.
like
This
that,
nigga's
right?
literally just being weird. He wants
But
to debate some
like,
like weird irrelevant shit.
nah, nigga. But like, if y'all like, I'm trying to go call my girl in like not that long.
Nigga, we're
If this is
debating
just
music.
a
You
debate,
Nigga,
Nigga, shut your bitch
like this
ass
debate,
up.
bro, this
Word.
debate. I
Yo,
just
awesome.
Jake
nigga,
and
Saucy, don't be an
Jay is
L in this shit,
already.
bro. Don't be
Nigga,
an L.
Jay's are you got Jay to judge. Nigga, this shit is so fucking boring. Nigga, this nigga is talking about S5 modal logic. I don't want to stay
no,
here.
no. Someone
Nigga,
in
he
the
was
chat asked what
trolling. He
that.
was literally
No,
trolling. He was
someone
literally
in the
trolling.
chat asked what that was. That's
Bro,
not relevant
I,
to the debate.
Yo, shout out
I,
my nigga
bro,
Hubert. Shout out Hubert.
Yes, sir.
Yeah,
Shout out
All
to
right.
Hubert.
bro,
So
Hubert
fucking,
like
that
the
nigga.
best fairy tale debater. Anyway.
he was trolling.
The
Nigga, just
best.
stay,
What?
bro.
Don't ever
Nigga,
talk good
at least
after.
stay for like 30 minutes, at least.
Dude, all I'm finna
What?
say
Wait,
is,
what is
nigga, I
one
was
second, let me.
literally taking a fucking nap. I get woke up by a fucking Discord notification, and now I'm judging Plutus versus Midnight on who's better between Dream and
The dream
Midnight,
life.
bro.
The dream life.
No,
The dream life.
dream clear. Like we
You
can all
call your
agree.
girl every damn day, bro. Give your
Like
penis
word,
a
nigga.
break.
Like she can like take like a
What?
1 day break, bro.
Nigga,
Like it's not
what
that
do you
deep.
mean? What do you mean,
Bro,
bro?
Midnight, shut your mouth. Not
What?
Midnight. Saucy, bro. Saucy,
Y'all
shut
niggas are
up.
not pressing. Y'all niggas are not pressing me right now for
Oh
being
my
a
god,
W
chill,
boy.
Bro,
Saucy, just take
yes,
1 minute to say
I'm
shit. That's really
pressing your
nothing.
bitch ass.
Bro,
Nigga,
get back to the
chill,
debate. Get
nigga.
back to
Holy
the
shit.
debate,
I don't want
bro.
to just
Get back to the
Yeah.
debate,
Get back to the debate. Yeah, get back to the
bro.
debate,
Alright,
bitch boy.
fucking. Alright, nigga. Alright, so
Okay.
fucking. What were you saying, Plutus?
So yeah, Midnight. What I'm referencing when I okay, so what I was referencing wasn't like the the
Fuck you thought.
formatting of your argument in such a way that it makes it astrological, but instead the formatting of your argument in such a way that it's comprehensible, or in a way that it is like convincing
I
to
think that that's
people.
rhetoric. I think that that would all be encompassed by like persuasion, right? Because we
Yeah,
obviously know that the way that you present the argument has a direct correlation to like who it will persuade and how it will
yeah.
persuade
I
people.
was getting relevant to that because I think the only way you can judge a debate, right? The only way you can come
Okay,
to an
wait,
agreement
time
about
out.
the
So
winner.
are we still talking about our columns with like the argumentative thing?
Yeah, I'm now trying to link this how we like even judge debates as to say why your argumentative definition doesn't work. So I think the way you've defined it, right? Like it's redundant because I don't think like the way you've defined it matters if we're actually perceiving who won a debate.
Okay,
I don't think
no,
it
okay,
forwards
right.
that.
Wait, let me just explain this real quick. Okay, so my two criteria are used in conjunction with one another, right? So obviously your comprehensiveness, what the fuck? Your comprehensive ability has a direct correlation to like your ability to make logically sound arguments. But then now it's up to you to use your rhetorical ability to actually present this argument in a way in which will obviously convince the audience and the judge, or maybe even the person that you're debating, that you're like slamming the fuck out of that nigga and you're beating the shit out of that nigga, right? So I think that these two things used in synchronization with one another matter. That's why I said that I don't think, actually, yeah, just go ahead. I don't want to shotgun
Yeah,
you.
but so like what I'm saying here is, though, you don't actually need a valuable strong argument. You need you need like a mirage of a valuable strong argument. I don't think your arguments actually have to be correct.
Wait, 1 second. I'm restarting the recording.
Okay. Cookie long, cookie come long. Yeah, but Midnight,
Wait,
have you read Bleach?
why is Sam timed out? Oh, no.
He's not, sadly. But yeah,
You should have I read Bleach now.
you should read Bleach, right? It's like
Alright.
actually top 5 series of all time.
Yes, read the Bible or Bleach.
Yes, sir. Preach, nigga. Can preach.
Nigga, I
Bro.
read that. I watched it up to like the Soul Society, and then I played the games, and that's
You
literally
like watched the worst part of a
Yes,
series.
good.
Damn.
You literally watch
it. I just
the word.
found Fate, and I was like, damn,
You
like
found
I was
mid?
pussy.
Okay.
I
Fate
experienced
took me
I
deep,
experienced pussy, and then I was like, damn, this shit's really not it. Feel me?
nigga.
He said so.
I have more.
Isn't Fate
Bro,
Epo?
what?
Isn't Fate Epo?
Nigga,
Am I missing
I
nigga,
don't
something?
I
know.
literally,
It's not a full game.
I live on watching Bleach, bro.
I ain't even gonna lie. You got more bodies than me, but like maybe your body's just not it, nigga. Because I got that like enlightenment pussy, nigga. Like I don't know what you're talking about.
What the?
Like I
nigga,
really,
your pussy trying to go
I
against
saw,
you.
Bro,
I lost
nigga.
spot.
Nigga,
I just
I'm
saw Bleach
not,
for what it
bro.
was.
I
Allah
am not
trying to
sitting through
go
this shit,
against
bro.
you.
I saw
Bro,
Bleach
be
for what
This is
it
quiet.
way
is.
better
Feel
than
me?
a
Oh
debate.
my fuck.
Nigga.
Okay, alright, bro. I'm not finna bring out the perms. I don't want to. But y'all niggas wasting my time right now. Alright, let's get back to the debate and
Alright,
finish
nigga,
Yo,
this
shut
shit.
damn.
your
Nigga
bitch
always
ass
gotta
up,
fucking be a
bro.
little buzzkill ass nigga.
Okay,
Yo,
so
shut
yeah,
your bitch ass up.
so yeah, Midnight. My point is that like the way you've okay, so I think the way you've defined argumentation, right? It doesn't actually matter because I think like the way to convince your opponents or anything matters because you can make it logically completely vapid argument to completely convince the judge. You can make an argument that is illogical and has zero foundation in reality, but if you're convincing enough, you can still be judged to win. But you cannot have zero rhetoric because logos is a form of rhetoric and
Okay,
win a
define
debate.
logos. Define
So
logos.
yeah, so logos is a form of rhetoric to do with like arguments that are good or are perceived to be good and convincing. So it's the form of rhetoric that comes from your arguments themselves. And I think
Okay,
vapid
wait, that would
arguments can have
okay,
logos.
wait. Okay, wait. Okay, I think that this is like a common misconstruction though, right?
Mhm.
I think that usually arguments that are talked about like that, they're like that due to the fact that not only are the arguments obviously like really logically sound, but I think that it's also due to the presentation of someone's argument. I don't think that just because someone talks extremely fast or doesn't talk extremely fast, or maybe their voice isn't really persuading, I don't think that that necessarily means that they have bad rhetoric. Obviously, there's other departments in which can obviously make this person really fucking persuasive.
That's why I
Things like
reference logos.
well, wait, yeah, things like clout, status, etc., etc. All of that can play a part of rhetoric. I don't think that is necessarily only due to the skill of a person.
No, that's why. Okay, again, logos isn't like linked to their ability to convince people via their voice or their clout, or like how they're like, or anything other than just the argument. But again, I'm saying an argument can be
Wait, Plutus,
Wait, hold
can
on,
you
wait.
repeat that?
Define the
Can you
logos. Define the logos shit again.
okay. So logos is like the form of rhetoric to do with your arguments, as in like statistics or facts or evidence you provide. And I'm saying you can provide evidence and statistics that are completely
Right,
unrelated.
but hold on. But
Wait, I'm not done.
it's also the way that you go about presenting the evidence, though.
No, that is for logos is to do with your. Okay, so are you referencing like the way you speak?
No, like literally, not even just the way you speak. That's why I said I don't think like speech pattern matters. I think like literally can just be this argument is extremely good. It's logically sound, but the way that you go about presenting it in reference to like I guess the way that you speak, but like the words, the specific word choice that you decide to use when you present the argument. I think that can also be encompassed by the proposition of rhetoric.
No, I mean that's not my point. My point is you can make an argument to win a debate devoid of argumentation, but you can't do that when it's devoid of logic. So my point isn't about like logic's like my point is about
Okay,
rest.
wait. Are you saying okay? Wait. Okay, hold on. So you're saying what you're trying to say right now is you can make a completely unsound, unfounded argument and still overcompensate with rhetoric. Therefore, argumentative
Yeah,
ability
I'm
isn't
saying
necessary for
argumentative ability
debating.
doesn't matter. I'm saying
Okay,
argumentative
right,
ability
right. But
only
even
matters in so much as you make something that sounds
okay,
nice.
wait,
Actually being
wait.
correct doesn't matter.
That's why even before in the recording, I'm saying I don't think that two of these things in synchronization with one another isn't necessary. I think that you can always overpower someone, but there is like an okay. So let me just put it like this. Let's say you do make an unfounded argument, right? You can overcompensate with rhetorical ability to actually make this argument sound as if it's like logically sound, right? So that would obviously mean that two of these things aren't necessary because it could also be vice versa. It could also just be you have really really logically sound arguments that are like pretty much undefeatable, but someone with rhetoric can't simply overcompensate that even if they fit both criteria. So I don't think that two of these things are necessary individually, but I think that it just makes someone a
No,
better
because
debater
my
if they're
point
used
is
in
one is
synchronization with one
no, my
another.
point is one of them is necessary. I think that rhetoric is necessary. I don't think you can win a debate if we're throwing like a judgment being formed about rhetoric. But then I'm saying the reverse isn't
Okay,
true.
wait, no, because you can literally just like fucking just say, oh, well, this data book just says this nigga stronger than this nigga. And then that nigga tries to refute it, and you're like, but the data book just said, like, you can always just fucking use like the facts to prove it. It doesn't necessarily have to be your ability to persuade people.
No, but then midnight, but it is though because so what you were doing here is you're underestimating rhetoric at least in its maximum possible capacity, right? So if you have extremely good rhetoric, I could
Oh,
say
no, wait, I'm not. Wait, please. I literally never denied the fact that you can obviously beat someone with like. That's literally why I brought up Jade versus
no, but
Godson.
midnight, because you said the facts, but then I'm saying rhetoric's good enough.
Okay,
So one
okay,
perception of the
but
facts will be
Plutus,
removed.
hold on, but Plutus,
Yeah, go
I
ahead.
literally brought up an instance in which someone did have the facts, God tongue, and then Jade made a
Tough
completely
work.
retarded argument, but still overcompensated with rhetoric to beat him. I'm not denying the fact
It does
that
work.
one criteria can just overpower the criteria. What I'm saying is that this law applies vice versa.
No,
Hence why I
that's why
brought
I'm
up
saying
Nairobi.
I disagree though.
Wait. This is also why I brought up Nairobi. Because Nairobi debates the same Jade who has way better rhetoric than him,
No, but
right?
midnight, this is
And he
what you're
still
missing.
wins just due to
That
the fact that his
no, but midnight,
argumentative
you're
ability
missing
is
my
better.
point because I think Nairobi has logos. I think Nairobi has extremely high logos. I think the way he performed his arguments, and when he puts the arguments together, is rhetorically convincing in the category
Okay,
of logos,
but it's
which is
rhetorically
why I
convincing
mentioned
because
the stat.
it's convincing but not do okay. So I don't think that simply being convincing makes someone or make something rhetoric. That's why or make someone's rhetorical ability good. That's why I
What do you define
specifically said,
rhetoric as then?
stop. That's
Wait, no,
why
I'm
when you
asking
asked
you
me,
a definition. I don't know
I'm
what
getting
you're
to
saying.
that. I'm literally getting to that right
Go
now.
ahead.
That's why when I defined rhetoric, I specifically said the person's ability to fucking what you call persuade people, right? And then when I fucking define argumentative ability, I define it as the person's ability to create logically formatted arguments. Did I not?
Okay, so yeah, like look, I'm looking at Overlord. That's like my definition. It's just not
No.
Okay,
But
right. But if
midnight.
someone, okay,
Wait.
but if
Mhm.
someone's argument being logically, like, I guess, well, logically formatted and logically put together, is what's persuading to the other person to like persuade them to go to them. It's not like their ability to speak or convince the audience. It's literally
Okay,
just that the nigga was right. It's literally just that simple.
no, but midnight. So the issue here is, I think the relevant parts of argumentation are supervened by rhetoric. Like I
Okay,
think
so you
when
think one of the sure, that's fine. Then I don't care.
yeah, which is the
As
issue
long-
because I think the relevant part too. Well, okay, you're saying like Nairobi presented strong arguments, right?
Okay,
But
wait. If your whole qualm with what I'm saying is just that you think that like my like criteria for like what argumentativeness is Is
No,
it
I
come back to
think
my
some.
rhetoric? Then
No,
it's
no, I
literally
think
just so
some of it
like
is.
this point is like so like it's
No,
like
no,
so
I think no, no,
colloquial. Like
but
we
I
don't really
think
need to do
some of
this.
it
Like
is. I don't
disagree
think
and just
all
move
of it
on.
is. You know, I think some of it is, not all of
Okay,
it.
which criteria of my argumentative definition do you disagree with? That's all I want to talk
So
about. Everything
again,
else
I
is
think
irrelevant.
it's for logical aspects. I think the formatting aspect is logos, but I don't think the truthfulness of it is.
I
I
never
think
said anything about the truthfulness.
no, the
I
evidence.
made
So
a
we're talking
distinction
about.
between the true value of the
I'm
argument
from.
and the
Okay,
logical
so
validity
I'll
of
like
it.
paraphrase the example you brought up, which is what I'm referencing. We said, oh, if you have a data book, you say the data book says this.
Okay,
The data
yeah,
book says
okay, wait, that's literally just an analogy, but I literally brought up, or my definition was
Mhm.
literally just logically sound, and I'm pretty sure in the beginning of the recording, maybe it's not there, but usually when I do talk about things like this, I literally say and make a distinction between truth value of an argument and logical validity of an argument.
Yeah, but Midnight, my entire point is judge. Okay, like how do I'll explain my position like a very easy statement. Midnight, your argument can be as logically sound as like possible, but if your argument sounds bad, you will lose based on any. If your person's argument is maximally convincing, you will lose based on any possible judgment. There's no way for you to win that debate.
Okay,
But if you're,
I don't think
I'm not done. I'm not done.
okay, wait, but we just disagree on like how like we determine whether or not a debater wins or loses, right? I don't think that just because a random nigga who we just
That's
call
why I
a
asked
judge,
earlier. Like that's
what?
why I asked you. That's why I asked you how you would like determine over debate earlier.
Okay,
Because if
well,
we're
I
going off
just
of
didn't answer.
judgment,
Okay, right.
argumentation.
Well, okay, let's talk about it right now. Okay,
Yeah.
so I think that if a random nigga that we call a judge says that you win or lose a debate, I don't think that that necessarily means that you win or lose, right? Literally, the only reason why literally the only reason why that is the case is due to the fact that we're giving that person the authority to dictate who wins or loses. But if I literally just say "fuck you," you don't have the fucking authority anymore. That nigga literally just has no power over the verdict of the debate. The only true way that we can determine whether or not someone truly wins or loses is based off of the points that were presented, based off the points that were like brought up and negated throughout the debate. And yeah, that's pretty much literally just it. I don't really think
Okay.
that just because a random nigga said that
You run
loses.
polls. You run polls.
Yeah,
you
no,
run
but
polls.
so the issue here is I don't think the metric for which you're like providing whenever debate and would ever lie to reach an actual conclusion about who won a debate. If you're trying to say the fact we can remove a judge from our position, which would like remove our authority over the debate, leads to a conclusion which we don't have to take the
Okay,
judge's
no,
judgment.
that's not what I'm saying. That's not what I'm saying. I can
Okay,
clarify
can you?
if you want me to.
Yeah, thank you.
Okay, I'm saying that the only way or the only reason why people would generally come down to the consensus that a nigga loses based off of another nigga's perception is just due to the fact that we're saying that this is the truth. We're like setting like an unfounded axiom, right? But the second that this axiom isn't found, or fuck, the second that ex debater points out that this is an unfounded axiom and they simply disagree with it, then this axiom is no longer founded. Like you can't literally just use an unfounded axiom to fucking objectively say whether or not someone wins or loses a debate.
Okay, but I'll like get what I'm referencing. 1 second.
Okay.
What does any of this have to do with Midnight versus Dream?
It's currently me like explaining right that Dreams like making shit up is completely fine and it's like
You mean
very
Dream?
relevant.
You mean Ghetto Jin?
Yeah,
Yeah.
like my god, my lord.
Okay, so all right, okay. So the entire point behind this is because everyone here mutually agrees that Hoodie beat Ghetto Jin really badly. But your response to that is, well, Ghetto Jin does a lot better when he's just ratting really hard, like
lying.
editing scans and all of these things. Okay. So well, how is this all relevant in the grand
Okay,
change
because
scale?
because he
I'm
has a
scaling
chain
Dream above
scale.
this person.
Yeah.
Like I'm quite literally, I'm saying. Also, yeah, I'm referencing. Okay, so it's like Gold's incompleteness theorem. It's like literally that any logical system would
Okay, hold
require
on.
actual.
So wait, I don't understand. So are you saying that because Ghetto Jin didn't get beat while he was ratting, Hoodie doesn't scale above Ghetto Jin?
Yeah, I'm saying he doesn't scale above a relevant gin, but
Are
I'm
you
saying.
talking-
Okay, then I'm all right. Then I'm confused. Because aren't you trying to argue that Dream is above Hoodie?
No, I'm not arguing Dreams above Hoodie directly off. Wait, so that's a different scale. So this
Okay,
is
that,
Jin
so
for
Hey,
error.
why does
Plutus,
this
Plutus,
scale
I got a
matter?
question.
Wait,
Plutus,
so
I don't
Saucy, wait, okay, yeah. So I
Mid-
said,
Midnight.
okay,
Plutus,
second,
Plutus,
I,
Plutus,
bro,
Plutus,
I'm
one second,
talking
one
to
second. Well, it
Saucy.
doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. I got a
Okay, what?
question. How do you, what you call it? How do you argue?
Bro, shit, this bitch ass nigga really comes to interrupt my fucking conversation, bro. God
No,
damn.
yeah,
All
it's
right, say what you were saying.
continuing on. So,
No, nigga,
um,
I need to
Saucy,
understand this
literally
point and
have
the
a,
relevance.
Saucy. Are you talking? Is the debate I talking about the one on
oh,
YouTube?
I
Like,
know,
the
but
tournament one?
I'm
The
arguing
what?
against the point in its entirety, bro.
Wait,
Right, so
what?
Saucy, you ready? Saucy, right, so Plutus, right? 5 seconds, right? So how do you argue
One.
that Harley Quinn's above the Overvoid without writing and editing scans? How do you argue Harley
Don't make
Quinn is
don't
above the
make arguments,
Overvoid?
man. Don't make
Okay,
arguments, man.
Wait,
Go
nah,
on.
nah, 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 nah. Hold on. Chill. All right, Plutus.
So
All
anyway,
I want to
so,
know, all I want to understand is the
oh yeah, so
relevance of this
you're getting the
specific
order wrong,
skit.
right? Yeah, so you're getting the order wrong. I said Dream above Jin relative to Arrow, and then Midnight tried to scale Huddy to Jin, not me trying to
Oh,
scale Jin.
okay. So
Yeah.
Ghetto Jin above or relative to Arrow and Dream above
Yeah,
Ghetto
I
Jin. That's
didn't
why
bring.
we're
Yeah,
where we are.
yeah. Midnight brought this up to upscale Huddy, and I'm saying this doesn't upscale Huddy. I'm saying Huddy doesn't scale to this.
Okay, and you're saying that the Ghetto Jin that went against Arrow Flame was the Ghetto Jin that was ratting like shit.
Yeah, like this was demonic Jin. I mean,
Okay, and Dream scales above that ratting Ghetto Jin.
yeah, Dream just like by Lab Val, Tamki can also agree, and by Valorizer and Sende.
Me
so
what? Me what? Me what?
But Dream's over Jin.
Mm,
Tamki,
mm.
unironically, if you say no, will be the only lab nigga I've ever disputed.
No, that's not true. It
I've
depends on
asked,
time.
but I've asked.
DC, sure, but like in crossverse, no.
Yeah, I'm
But
just
like,
going for overall skill.
inverse,
Though. I don't think
inverse
Dream
stuff in
has any
general,
crossbar
no.
skill. No, but again, I don't think Dream does a thing. I'm just referring to their overall skill and like rhetoric and augmentation. I think Dream's better equalized. I think his lack of doing those things isn't relevant.
Wait,
I
so
mean, if you wanna
okay,
go by
so wait, so the
Dream,
okay,
like,
so
Dream-
your reasoning is that Dream is considered to be better than Jin, so
Also,
he's
Jin
better.
admits he's
He's
worse.
better than the Jin that like edits scans and rats with fake scans and stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Also, Jin is at least implied he's worse than Dream to me. Like I made a lab ranking list, like a hit list. Jin seemed to complain about most of his statements, but he had no qualms of being below Dream. But he did
Okay.
yeah. So it's even Jin, from what I can perceive, also agrees he's worse than Dream.
perceive as perception.
Yeah, but yeah. Also, again, I'm not scaling Huddy. Like we're not trying to like refute my scaling with Huddy. The other way around.
Why do you get to a scaling
Okay.
chain in the first place? Like,
I didn't fucking know. Like I actually just don't even want to be here anymore.
Yeah.
Y'all can continue.
You should read Bleach.
yeah,
I
so
have
anyway-
read Bleach, Plutus.
Okay, can we just like
Yeah.
finish
You
this
know,
shit?
Bleach is also
Yeah, so I
called.
mean,
It's also called the Bible.
it
It's
is.
also synonymous.
God bless. So yeah, Midnight.
Bleach,
Yeah.
the
So
Bible.
why do you? So yeah, based on like this, based on those incompleteness, actions are always needed, so you can't really remove them. So if you're going to remove the action of like a judge being correct, like what new action are you putting in to judge who wins a debate?
The debate itself.
That's not
Positions,
helpful. The debate
propositions,
itself doesn't.
propositions,
Mhm.
propositions that were negated throughout the dialect.
Okay, but Midnight, you understand a proposition being negated in the dialect is perception based, right? Like for
Yeah.
example, yeah, so then that wouldn't reach a conclusion about who won.
Yeah,
Because-
it would. That's why I'm saying that it's subjective. That's why I'm saying that the nigga who literally just says this nigga loses because of his own perception, the only reason why that would be perceived as true is due to the fact that we're giving him that authority, right?
Yeah, so
But
I'm gonna
even
go
that
back to my
authority,
original
hold on, wait.
statement
But my
then.
whole
Okay,
point,
go
the
ahead.
whole point that's going right over your head is that authority in and of itself is unfounded, right?
Yeah,
So
that's
there's
my
no
point.
reason. Okay, well, wait. So
I
there's no
agree with that.
reason. So there's no reason as a okay. If you agree to that, then there's no way that we can say that this person's perception is objective, right?
You didn't
So
listen
if
to
I
the
have-
final part
I
of my
have a
point,
perception-
Midnight.
If I have a perception that's more logically sound than another nigga's perception, and like let's say we hypothetically even debated about our perceptions, and let's say hypothetically I beat the fuck out of this nigga, there's no reason why we would say that this nigga lost just due to the fact that the nigga that literally lost and whether or not his opinion is correct or incorrect is correct.
So, like, first of all, Midnight, what? Okay, so the first problem here is, like, I'll start with the second point. Your second point leads to an infinite regress. We can answer that in a bit. I don't think that's, like, difficult to convey. But the first issue here is, Midnight, because it's subjective, and because of an action being required in all logical systems, whereas eventually we will eventually always reach a point where it's an unjustified, like, bedrock or foundation. But
That's
if
fine.
you're
I mean,
all,
I don't care about
but
that.
then the issue here is then we could never reach a certain conclusion about who's better, which would invalidate this conversation. Like
Right,
any
we would-
argument,
we would
any
reach.
arg-
Okay, right. That goes into like the second premise of my argument. Like, if we both agree that under my line of logic that there's
Oh,
no
yeah.
objective, huh? Oh, okay. If we both agree that under my line of logic that there's no way that we can come down to like an objective conclusion as to who won, the only truth would be our internal truths, and the only way that we can actually evaluate whether or not our internal truths are correct or incorrect would simply be by like conversating with one another. Wow, what the fuck is wrong with me? I'm talking shit. Would only be by conversing with one another.
Yeah, but I mean, the issue here is there's no way to verify who would ever win those conversations, which is why I mentioned me in
Yeah, it would
replay.
just be it would just be internal. It would all be subjective. That's fine, man.
No, but then if it's internal subjective, then any claim you make about winner of a debate would always be unverifiable. Like, as in, there'd be no way to link this thing to
I
reality.
guess if you just break it down to like the point where it's like, I would agree that logic would need fucking axioms, like such as like language and like meanings that we have when we say certain words. Like, do we both agree with that?
Yeah, but then, Minna, I'm
Okay,
saying in
wait,
order
but I
for us
think,
to
but
make
I think,
claims about debates, we need axioms.
wait, just say, do you agree with that? Yes or no?
Say no.
Wait, what do you mean by need? Do you mean like as in
Like,
these things are required to like
like in order,
converse about these things?
yeah, that, and like there's like that's like the only way that we can even come down to conclusions about anything.
Yeah,
Period.
and I think that's true for debates. If we're ever to come
Okay,
down to
right. Hold on,
conclusions
wait.
for
But I'm
debates,
not
we need
denying
axioms.
those. I'm not denying all axioms. You like misconstrued what I said. When I said that this axiom's unfounded, right? Obviously, I'm saying it's unfounded within the context of like an objective sense. All axioms within technicality are unfounded, right? I mean, I'm pretty sure we both agree that like things like the laws of identity and the laws of logic aren't objective. So if we both agree that like to this being the case, I'm not saying objectively what I'm saying is correct. I'm saying based off of the axiom that we already presuppose to be correct, that this thing is falsified. Like that's
So,
all I'm
Midnight,
saying.
the issue here is, well, like, okay, I'm saying the axiom required to reach a conclusion about winner of a debate would be some arbitration, right? And I'm saying and then we went to the form of a judge. You disagree with that form of arbitration, right? But now I'm asking.
I don't think
Well,
that a
no, that
judge
was
is
the one I
necessary though.
provided and you disagreed with, right? But then I'm saying
Yeah.
we still need a form of arbitration to reach a conclusion.
Yeah,
Because
that's why
otherwise, yeah,
I
so
think it's just based
unless
off
I
of who
missed
won or
it.
lost points within the debate.
Yeah, but again, who won or lost points based on the debate is a form of arbitration. That is quite literally a value judgment. That is your perception about who won or lost something. So
All right,
then
then
it
I
still
just
reaches
disagree
the
with us
floor I
needing
mentioned.
arbitration. Then that's fine.
But the issue here is if we don't need arbitration, we don't reach conclusions about this thing.
We do reach conclusions, just that all of our
That are
conclusions
external
could be
to our
different.
mindscape. Sorry.
You said what?
Ratio.
Wait, but Midnight. The issue with that is then.
Wait, say the last part again. I didn't
Yeah,
hear you.
so we wouldn't be able to reach a conclusion about external to our mindscape in like any relevant way,
I
right?
don't think that we could ever do that though.
Wait, but Midnight again. I'm not saying we couldn't under your system. I'm saying under your system, then Dream beat Huddy, Dream beat, and then Huddy beat you. And I could just like say, based on my internal mindscape, and based on my perception of reality, which would be equally as founded as any other system you could give me, any other verification system you could give me, would put Dream above
because I literally said before that I'm still using set axioms such as language and things of that nature, right?
No, but that
I'm
doesn't matter,
I'm
Midnight.
just going against
You're missing
the
my
only
point here.
axiom that we disagreed with was the judge, right? So obviously when you say things like, oh, well, Hoodie beat me, an axiom that we usually have when we conversate is things such as like Hitchens razor and these like fallacies that dictate whether or not an argument is logically sound or not,
So
right?
I
So
disagree.
what you're saying, you disagree with what?
Yeah, I think Hitchens raises like basis isn't. I like
Wait,
that's the reason why Hitchens raise was given like an addendum. It's like basis
what
on its
do you disagree with?
Okay, I'll just say I'll define Hitchens razor. I know we can see if we agree on
No,
that.
I'm asking you what's your contention like at hand?
Yeah, my contention at hand is that these like Hitchens razor, which named as an axiom, I don't think is an axiom. I think
I'm
Hitchens razors
saying
on its own is like
I'm saying
valueless.
and of themselves, like fallacies being used to like reduce to like the logical validity of someone's argument.
Oh yeah, again, and I think the fallacies in this. Okay, and I think the application of these fallacies to ascribe a fallacy to something is a value judgment because yeah, because a fallacy is like by definition just a flaw in logic, right? You
I
agree to
didn't
that?
understand what you said. You talked mad fast and your accents. I already said this that your accent's hard for me to
Yeah,
understand.
so
Bro, Bruce doesn't speak English.
nigga, I speak English.
Bro,
You
all I
speak
heard was
American English. But yeah, anyway, so Midnight, and do you accept that fallacies are like what is logically invalid, or what you
what
perceive
is
to be logically?
logically and
Yeah,
yeah, I think that a
what you
fallacy by
yeah.
definition is simply like an error in logic.
Right, and then I'm saying but then I'm saying the role of a judge or role of someone making a judgment would be to prescribe their understanding of an argument to then ascribe the trait of whether or not it is fallacious.
Okay, Plutus, you did it again, bro. Say that over.
Okay, but I'm saying
So I
even in the
told you.
scenario, the lesser role of a judge would still be to verify for themselves whether or
Okay,
not this thing
okay,
is
wait.
in fact logically
I think
fallacious.
I see the like misunderstanding. So you think that I'm saying that judges in and of themselves are like irrelevant, pretty much?
No, but you're not saying we're relevant. You're saying we have like no actual like higher level of arbitration to
Okay,
anyone
right.
else.
But all I mean by that is like in reference to like appointed judges. Like I think that judges are valid. I just don't think that like any judge is necessarily higher than another judge.
Yeah, but
I think that the
that's
only
I
thing
know,
that's
but no, that's
necessarily
what I agree to. No,
I think
that's we understand have your argument. That's not what I
okay,
implying.
right. Then the only thing that we would be left with is logic.
No, because Midnight, the
So
issue
whoever
here is now. No, because I'm seeing like an entailment of there like being no higher level of judgment. Is that all judgments are equally valid?
no,
So like,
no, you hold on, wait, say that again.
yeah. So the entailment of at least from what I am seeing is that all judgments would be equally valid.
No,
So
that's not okay.
we,
Yeah, that's what I think the misunderstanding is. That's why I'm gonna elaborate real
yeah,
quick.
that's like okay,
Okay,
good.
right. So yeah, right.
Let's try.
That's why I said at the end that all we would be left with is logic. What I mean when I say that no judge is necessarily higher than another judge, it would be coming back to the point that we were talking about previously, that no judge would be necessarily higher within the aspect of we wouldn't say that this nigga is right just because we appointed him as a judge. We would say that this nigga is right based off the fact that his argument is more logically sound than the other person, or he was able to invalidate the logical validity of
Yeah,
another's argument.
as a point I'm missing, Kiminite, because again, I'm saying this like we think it's arguments like, well, yeah, but I'm saying like your statement of this nigga's judgment's better because like he's able to demonstrate logical
Okay, hold on.
position.
Okay,
Okay,
all
right.
right.
Are you saying
I'm
that
just
that would lead?
wait.
Are you saying that that would
I'm
lead
not
to an
following.
infinite?
Yeah, that's why I mentioned regress
Yeah,
earlier.
you're arguing that would lead
It's
to
the
an infinite
judgment
regress.
issue all over again. Yeah, you wouldn't be able to
Okay,
verify
right. That
that
hold on,
theirs was in
wait.
fact better.
Okay, right. Yeah, but I already established that I'm like presupposing certain axioms such as logic.
No, but I mean, you're not saying. I'm saying the role of a judge is to apply these traits of what is fallacious or what is sound and not sound based on our own system. Even if we presuppose logic,
Bro.
the
Okay,
role of
okay.
a judge
I
is to
understand what
still
you said. I
attribute
understand what
this
you
to
said.
argument.
Flutus. I understand what you said. You're doing that thing when you talk fast, again, slow down.
Okay, so yeah, Mina, I'm saying even if
Told
we
you.
agree to logic, and that's like a requirement for this conversation. Mina, I'm still saying the issue here is the role of saying this person's arguments, like with logic, are better than another person's, is still a judgment. Because even when presented the same arguments, two people's perceptions and mindscapes lead them to have different conclusions about the logical strength of an argument. So I'm saying this still leads to a regress because within this like transition between the judge to our perception of the judge's judgment or judge's judgment in contention to someone else's, we are still making our own judgment based on what we perceive our arguments to be and how strong or weak we perceive
Okay,
those
so you're
arguments.
arguing. So you're arguing that we would need a mutual third party to lay down these axioms objectively.
Yeah, and that's why
Okay,
and
right.
then
But
like I'm also
that
found
literally
that.
just defeats the purpose of unfounded axioms, though.
No, because again, my point is I don't think we can reach a certain conclusion without actions. And for this
Okay,
conversation,
wait, no,
we need
no.
certain
Okay, well, wait,
conclusions.
yeah, we both agree with that, but I'm saying that what you're saying literally just defeats the purpose of me saying that I believe that there's unfounded axioms, right? The fact that you're saying that it's up to
No,
a mutual
you're
third.
not saying.
Wait,
Wait, that's what
hold
I'm
on.
trying
The
to
fact.
convey.
Okay, well,
That's
wait, no. Okay, wait, are you saying that me saying that's unfounded as well?
no. I'm saying you're misrepresenting my position here. I'm saying in order for us to reach a conclusion about who is better, that is not just within our minds. We would
Okay,
need.
wait, but
We
I think
wouldn't. We couldn't rely on an axiom. So I'm saying an axiom is insufficient here. At
okay,
least the
but
axiom that you're
you say that, and then you contradict yourself again by
No,
using
no,
this
I'm saying
mutual
the
third
actions
party as
you're
an
presenting.
axiom.
No, because the actions you're presenting here are just like descriptions of reality. But I'm saying, in reference to an argument, this is no longer just a description; it's the application of a description to something. So this
Okay,
is no longer an axiom.
simplify
Yeah,
that.
okay. So I'm saying we're not actually looking at an axiom here. We're looking at someone that can ascribe an axiom to an argument. So this is why I'm saying it's different. Because I'm not saying the axiom needs to be founded, but I'm saying we need some source to verify whether or not this
Okay, right.
axiom
Yeah,
is.
literally already. Okay, yeah. So I feel like we can just
Oh,
go to
fuck, man,
judgment
trust
because
is right.
I already. You said what? Okay. Well, yeah. I feel like I already attacked this argument because I already brought up the fact that what you're saying is literally just contradictory. You can't say that. Hold on, wait. Just to make sure, because I really feel like I'm just being retarded. So repeat your argument one more time.
Yeah. My argument is
What?
okay. So we have two situations. Either we reach a situation where every judgment is equally as valid, or we have a situation where some judgment, and then if the first one's true,
No,
then
I
I could
understand.
yeah,
I
and then if
understand your intent. I'm simply asking you to repeat your premises.
yeah, and then the other argument was that if we also, even if we have these axioms of logic, for all of the judges in reality to go off what they perceive to be logical, and then to create a judgment based on which argument they deem to be more logical. So the role of a judge is to ascribe to like verify which arguments they believe to be more or less logical.
Okay, and
And
you're
then
basing this off.
without this
Wait,
person,
wait, and then you would be basing that premise off the fact that obviously we would have like subjective different interpretations of what logic is, right?
yeah. So then even with
Okay.
so even with the actions of logic, the conclusions reached would still be different.
Okay,
So then logic
wait.
is
That will just come back to my other premise in which I literally stated that everything would just be internal. Like there's no way that what you're trying to do right now, you're trying to like ascribe or subscribe to like a way that we can mind dependently say, mind independently say that this person won. And I'm saying that that's logically impossible due to the fact that we can't make any claims that are mind independent. I believe
Yeah,
that all claims that we make are inherently I believe that all claims that we make are inherently mind independent. Therefore, the only way that I'm actually trying to come down to like a consensus of who won or lost a debate would just be mind dependent. That's why I think that what you're saying is always going to be like logically impossible. If you want to
No,
talk about whether or not we can come down to conclusions on whether or not like a claim could be mind independent or not, we can.
No, but minute again, I'm saying this situation we're accepting, even though it may be true, like foundationally prevents us reaching any conclusions about winning the debate. Because even
Okay,
if
all right, okay, no,
Okay, yeah, we can
we've been
discuss
at this
conclusions.
we've
Yeah, we
been
can
at the
discuss conclusions.
same
Yeah,
fucking
we can.
roadblock
Yeah, I
since
literally
five
we
days.
can go
Okay,
to conclusions.
Cool,
Shut up.
cool,
Shut
all
up.
right,
so
sure, okay, all right. No, I don't need conclusions. So this is my understanding.
Mhm.
So
I'm gonna take a piss real quick. I might
there's two established things I think both parties agreed to. So one, the judge, well, in the debate y'all refer to as an axiom, but we presuppose these unfounded axioms or whatnot, and under these axioms, we can use them as criteria to decide who wins a debate, right? I keep hearing Plutus make the argument of, well, if we go down to the most basic or foundational level or whatever, these axioms will always be unfounded, therefore we can't reach a conclusion. I think that I'm not sure if that's what you were arguing the whole time, because it seemed to me like you agreed that when we presuppose or when we have like a judge judging a debate or whatnot, and we give this judge the authority to decide who wins or whatnot, the judge is also like acting as a sort of axiom to decide who
Yeah.
wins the debate. Okay.
So yeah, I'm saying the
So
validity of judgment is an action we require in order to reach this conclusion. Without it, we don't.
okay. All right. So there's one thing that I think, well, shit, the only thing I really care about, and the only thing I really listen to. So logic. I think that what Midnight said of all of this would relate back to logic at the foundational level. I think that's the most true thing I heard during the debate, and I think that was something that wasn't talked about enough. So yeah. So I disagree with what Midnight said of like things like the law of identity and such being not objective or whatnot. But I think the conclusion he reached is fine, and he proved it pretty well. So he said that what's it called?
Bias judgment.
What do you say?
Can't tell my dick.
Bias judgment.
Oh, can't tell.
Dude,
Hey,
I did not.
Saucy, I
Okay.
don't disagree with what you've said currently. I like agreed with all of that. in the
Okay, yeah,
debate.
no, I'm just going through the things that I've heard, right? And you're
Okay.
telling me where I go wrong.
Yeah.
Okay, so then when we were talking about logic, I think this is the conclusion I came to from the shit that I've heard. So if we're talking about just argumentative ability and rhetorical ability, whether or not it's a one-way street of what is more necessary for judgment or whatnot, I in the end agree with Midnight that rhetoric is not something necessary to judge that someone won a debate, because I don't think Plutus, I don't think you proved. I think to prove your position, you would have to prove that it is certainly the case that we need to have some form of rhetoric for someone to win a debate. And I don't think you actually proved that. In fact,
one thing.
okay,
Oh
no,
wait, just to make
hold on. But in
just to make
fact,
sure,
I
are we
think
concluding on the point within its totality, or we're just simply concluding on the sub point?
okay, we can conclude on the whole thing. I really and truly I
Plutus, are
don't
you
want to
fine
be
with
here
that?
anymore. So
Plutus, are you fine with that, or do you want to like just conclude on the sub point?
Sure.
I mean,
okay,
we could just,
like
all right, look.
insufficient, but
So this
Alright,
this is the judgment, right? I think Midnight won the point of whether or not rhetoric was a necessary thing to judge that a debater won a point, because it seemed to me like Plutus on multiple different occasions agreed that none of these things were certainties, and I think to make the
no, I
claim that is
disagreed. Like I
Um,
explicitly said this thing wasn't necessary. Augmentation was necessary. I mean, I said
Huh? No, you said no.
okay,
You
no,
said
you
that.
said you said
You said that
rhetoric was a
rhetoric was necessary, but
necessary thing.
argumentative
You
wasn't.
said
yeah.
a
I'm saying
yeah.
because I'm saying
Right,
we
and
tried
I
to
think
from
to
that.
right, and I think to make the claim that it's necessary, you would have to be certain.
Yeah, I mean, I was
Uh,
certain. I like said the way judgments formed requires it, but
Okay, no, but all right, but what I'm saying
You
is on
literally. I got
multiple
you to
different
admit that it would be
occasions,
unfounded.
yeah, on multiple different occasions, you agreed and you yourself argued that we're not certain about these things. We can't be certain about these things. So I think that's like a concession.
oh, is that what you're referencing?
Yeah.
In different context, for sure.
Okay. So for that point specifically, I think Midnight won. For the how this relates to Ghetto Jin, whether or not using fake scans or changing like editing scans and shit like that, whether or not that relates back to debate skill. Earlier at Midnight, when he was defining what he meant by rhetoric, he said things like clout, like he gave some examples along those lines. I think there's an argument to be had about whether or not using these fake scans would be a form of rhetoric, because I think Midnight's definitions of argumentative ability and rhetoric were like really loosely defined. Because
They
earlier
were,
I
yeah,
remember
intentionally.
when he was defining argumentative ability, he said validity was a part of it, and then later on he said validity was not a part of it. But either
No, I
time,
didn't. I never said that.
He said
no,
truth
you
value.
yeah,
I'm
I
not
said
no,
truth
you
value
said
wasn't a part of it, but logical validity was.
because truth value is different to truth.
Bro, I
Truth
said
Okay,
value is
which one
different
are
to
you?
nah,
validity.
I'm
What
not
is this you're
talking.
referencing?
No, early, the very first time Midnight defined argumentative ability, he said how logically sound it is and if it is valid. And then that I just interpreted valid in that context to mean true. But
Oh,
then
no.
later on,
So no, the first time I simply said logically valid, and then Plutus asked me for
Yeah, I
clarification.
added sound because within the debate
yeah.
would be sound, but then outside of the debate it
Okay,
wouldn't
then
be.
Yeah.
maybe my note here is wrong, but I remember Midnight saying logically sound and valid, and I thought that, well, for there to be a distinction between those two, valid would have to mean true, right?
No,
Plutus
But
was
sound.
telling me that there's no problem.
later on, it was clarified anyways that he differentiated it from truth value. So
Yeah.
okay, if Midnight believes that truth value is independent from argumentative ability, or what is necessary to say someone has good argumentative ability, then I think the question to talk about is whether or not, okay, using a scan that is fake, right? Whether or not that could be a part of a good argument, since truth value is not something we evaluate when we talk about good arguments, right? But I don't think, while I think that's like a hole in the criteria, right? I do not think that the conclusion Plutus reaches of, well, that would be good argumentation or good rhetoric or a good debating style, right? I don't think that that conclusion was ever reached by any of the reasons he gave in the debate. I feel like we just sort of pussyfooted around different things and never really led to that conclusion. So that's like just my whole judgment on the thing.
What's your
Wait, are we still
judgment on
using?
this?
Are we still using
yes.
the other judge, by the way, or
Wait,
What's
so
that?
Saucy, wait, what's your judgment on the argument of like
wait,
if we
Plutus,
can't reach? Hmm?
are we still using J or not? We're just sticking with Saucy.
Saucy, yes, but Saucy, what's your judgment on the argument I made of if we can't reach such conclusions, then we just reach a position where I can say you just lost the
Yes.
dream.
Oh, okay. You mean where you said that, well, if none of these things are certainty and it's all based on these
Yeah,
subjective
then you
things,
just
all
lost.
judgments would be equally valid.
Yeah,
Yeah.
and then
So I
I
think
said
that,
specifically, then I think you lost. What's your judgment on that?
yeah. Okay. So I believe the argument against that would relate back to the talk about
Logic
axioms.
thing.
So
Yeah.
when we say that someone wins a debate, we're not claiming that to be objective. We're not saying this person objectively won the debate. We're saying that this person objectively won while we presuppose the axioms of like logic or shit like that. Right.
That's
So that's
fine.
not, that is, in a sense, that's like contradictory. It's not objective, but you yourself at one point argued that, well, what is the relevancy in making the distinction between objectivity independent of these like unfounded axioms, or just objectivity where we do presuppose these axioms or shit like that. So we can never at any point make any mind independent claim that someone won a debate or make any claim
Yeah.
beyond these unfounded axioms. So we should only act within these axioms. We should only talk about things that matter, which would be things within these axioms.
That's not what I agree to. What I agree to
Okay,
specifically
no,
was
but
then
all
the
right, no,
system.
then I'll agree that what you're saying is true. You're saying what you're saying is not wrong or whatever, but I think the conclusion you're reaching is wrong. So yes, all judgments would be equally valid, right? Well, we could only evaluate them to be equally valid because we can't evaluate them in an objective sense. But if we're talking about when we do presuppose these axioms, when you yourself have agreed we do presuppose these axioms, you're not arguing that under these axioms all judgments are equally valid. You're just saying in an objective world, which we have no evaluation of, we can just assume all of these things are valid. I don't think that matters
No,
like
but
the
Saucy,
overall
again,
point.
like Saucy, like I'm sure you missed my argument here, but the only action I agreed for in debating possibly was judgment. In logic, like my specific point was, even if logic is an axiom, the application of logic in the context of debating is not axiomatic. So then that would still be my independent. So within
Okay,
debates,
no,
I never
I
agreed
think
there was an axiom for
okay,
that.
no, I think agreeing that logic itself is an axiom would have the same functional effect. I don't think you
That's
have
pretty.
to. I don't think you have to explicitly say you
No,
agree
no,
to
Saucy, I
the
said I didn't
application
say
of
no, no,
logic. Or
Saucy, I didn't say
yeah.
okay. You misheard me. I didn't say I didn't agree to it. I said I disagreed with it. Like my entire
You
point was,
disagreed with. Okay, no, but
yeah,
you just said you agreed with
no, no,
logic being an axiom.
no. I'm saying okay. Saucy, what I said within the debate was that even if logic is an axiom, the application of logic to a debate would be through a person. So would not like so it's not axiomatic. It's not that I didn't agree to it
Okay.
being axiomatic. I explicitly
Wait.
stated that it
Okay.
would
Hold
not
on.
be.
All right. No. That. Okay. I don't think that's an actual argument.
No, but that was an argument. No, but it's also irrelevant to this in your concept of an argument. Is I agreed to no axioms within
Okay. No.
debates
All
other
that.
than
Okay. All right. All right. I hear what you're saying, and
yeah.
all I'm getting from that matters is even if logic is an axiom. That sounds like a steel man to me. Is it not to you?
No, you're not listening. I
Okay, he's
think
saying. Okay,
logic is an
wait. Also, he's
axiom.
saying
I'm
that
saying
logic.
judgment is not an axiom, and I never agreed to any form of debating being an axiom.
Okay, he's
Like,
saying that logic is an axiom, but the way that we like interpret it would inherently be subjective.
yeah.
Okay. Okay. All right. Right. And I'm saying that I don't think that matters to what we're
Yeah, it doesn't
talking
get
about
anywhere.
because our you're going back to the thing of well we need some sort of mind independent or objective way to say that I don't I think that we can perfectly have it's perfectly fine to have objectivity within subjectivity, so
No, because also,
objectivity bounded by axioms. I think that's what we're going off of here. I don't think we
oh,
need
so see,
the
that's why I
mind
disagreed with
independent.
her. Because
Okay,
I
right.
again, though, because like my entire point is there's no objectivity because it's through a mind, and I'm saying even with these axioms of logic, we
All
still
right,
don't
then in
reach
that case,
objectivity.
okay, all right, then in that case, I'd say you would be conceding the debate via having this position, right?
Go ahead.
Simply by having this position
He
because
said via
you
via.
yourself,
Oh,
okay,
stupid ass, bro.
bro, shut up. Okay,
Bro, can't
so
talk about. Oh, look at that.
Midnight has a position that is perfectly compatible with his premise. His premise being that he is a better debater than Dream. But you are now upholding a position that is just incompatible in any way with your premise because you're conceding that you cannot make the claim that you're superior to someone else in an objective sense. And you're
Yeah,
saying that the
so
objective
see,
sense is
I'm
the sense
saying this
that
is an
matters.
I'm saying this like necessary entitlement to what Midnight's arguing. So I'm saying if what Midnight is arguing is true, then he can't be an objectively better debater than Jin. Like that's the point.
Okay, but I never
I
made that
don't
Okay,
claim
hold a
no,
though.
okay,
position Jin
no,
being
no.
valid.
Okay, hold on. But all right, but the point is Midnight is choosing to argue within subjectivity, and your position is that we need to argue within objectivity for it to matter.
Yeah, because again, if my type point was if we argue within subjectivity, I say he lost and he would
Okay,
have
right.
lost.
Okay, so
Wait,
your position, hold on. So your position is incompatible with your premise.
no, I'm okay. I'm saying the position. Okay, so see. We first reach the point of judgment, and then
Yeah.
from judgment, I'm trying to justify why being told my like what I'm reaching from what he believes axioms are within debates. Is more likely or is more true than what he thinks the entitlements are. I don't hold the position to be true, but I'm saying so when I'm arguing, if
Okay,
we
wait,
agree to
Plutus,
what
can I
he's
ask you a
saying
question
Okay,
real
prior to
no.
quick?
this
All right, hold
point,
on. Wait, no.
Okay.
So
Wait,
Plutus,
Plutus, could
you
you?
Hold
okay.
up, hold up, hold up, hold up.
uh,
All of you. You know how debates are supposed to work, right? Where
Yeah.
You give your
Shut
opinion.
your ass
Your
up,
opponent
man.
gives his like closing statements. You give your closing statements, etc. Right? Then the
Uh.
judge says what they meant to say, and then after the judgment, you can talk about this shit.
Oh, judgment's been given.
Okay, so who won?
Okay.
Saucy said Midnight Night.
So
Did you?
yeah. So
Okay,
all right. Look, I'll say my
why are you
judgment one more
arguing
time.
about that shit? Then?
I'll say my
But, like-
judgment one more time, then y'all can continue. Okay.
Yeah.
So I think that I think Midnight won the point of whether or not rhetoric was necessary for you to say someone won the debate. Because I don't think Plutus ever proved that it was a necessity. I also think that Midnight won the point about where we were talking about axioms and deciding who won a debate at all, right? Because he made the argument that if we're talking about these unfounded axioms, if we go down to like the most basic level or whatever, we would just have logic. Plutus Steelman's, bro, shut up, Kentai. Plutus Steelman's that logic is an
Shut
axiom
your ass up.
and tries to argue that well, in that case, then we would need like some sort of objective way to say that a debater is better. I think that Plutus kind of contradicts himself and goes against this by saying that we act within these axioms or subjectivity to say someone is better or not. But then he tries to say that, well, if we're going under subjectivity, then I could say you lost a dream, or I think you lost a dream, or I think you're worse than dream, or whatnot. And that would be equally valid to whatever claim Midnight is giving.
In the
I think that,
that's kind of issue.
yeah.
But good.
You got something you want to say?
Oh yeah, like okay, so
Yeah, you about ugly as hell.
like, so
Plutus.
Hmm?
Let me finish.
Oh, I thought he was finished. That's why
Well,
like
you cut him off first.
no, I like said something. I mean like he was finished,
Yeah,
so I just didn't
you-
say
you-
anything and
no,
then he stopped.
No, he stopped because you were saying something. So
I like didn't talk
No,
for 5 seconds,
shut,
so he
shut
continued.
up. Shut up.
All right, bro. Okay. What was I saying?
You were saying
Shit,
that
I lost
you got
myself.
something to say.
Okay, right. So Plutus said that if logic is this axiom or whatnot, then all of the claims we would be making in an objective sense would be equally valid. I think that Plutus himself again contradicts this by saying that these objective claims or whatnot don't actually matter. The only claims that we should evaluate are the ones that we can actually make, which are subjective claims, which are underneath these axioms or whatnot. But Plutus also somewhat agrees that we can have like a subjective objectivity, right? An objectivity is not truly objective, but we treat it as such because we have these axioms. So I think in that sense, Plutus is like just conceding his position.
That's
Okay.
not what I was conveying when I said it.
Okay,
So stupid ass up, man.
I'm just acting as a mediator here, right? Saucy, you finished?
I'm done.
Okay, Plutus, go ahead.
Yeah. Yellow.
Stop being
Go
gay.
ahead.
Yeah, go ahead.
I like spoke. Can you not hear me?
I'm
Yeah, no,
trying
let
to
him
go
go
ahead,
ahead.
you cunt.
Oh
You
shit!
know
Alright,
bitches,
so yeah,
man.
so see, so when I said we could have an objective objectivity, or like a subjective objectivity, that's perfectly under. If we have axioms and axioms lead to this conclusion, then we can like say these things are true within these axioms. My
Yeah.
entire point was that Midnight's axioms in and of themselves don't lead to this. Like that's I was
Okay,
arguing that Midnight's
I don't.
axioms don't lead to this,
Yeah,
like
hold on.
subjective
So
objectivity.
what Midnight's axioms led to was evaluating arguments based solely on logic. So he said he gave the example of if I send a fucking data book scan that it says this character is strong, that other character, no matter what sort of fucking persuasive technique you use, at the end of the day, I'm like, bro, I don't care. The data book says this specific thing verbatim, right? I don't give a fuck, right? So I think that in that sense, right, his axioms do lead to an objective thing, right?
That's what we
You
disagree
have
on.
a problem with it?
I don't think it does.
Okay, yeah, but I don't think that was ever attacked properly.
No, but that's like an argument I made. I made an argument like twice.
Okay, what argument did you make against
Yeah,
this?
so my argument was that we can so like as a base state, we could have the same logical arguments given to us, and we can still reach different conclusions about the validity of said arguments based on our understanding of them, or like based on our perception of the arguments, right? So so even with the data, but thing if you say the data book says the data book says it, I could still
Yeah, hold
perceive
on.
your I
Yeah.
can still perceive your argument in such a way that leads me to the conclusion of your argument still being invalid. So my point was, you still couldn't reach like
Okay.
a
You all right?
objective.
Do you think that if we're debating and I make an argument, do you think your interpretation of my argument supersedes my intent with my argument?
Okay, I don't think judgment can be. Okay, so one.
Just answer the question.
Okay, so sure, I think like the words you say matter more than your intent.
Okay. Okay. So, all right.
What?
So you think your interpretation of the words coming out of my mouth matters more than the actual meaning that I intend behind those
When
words?
it comes to judgment on a debate, yeah, like if you
Okay.
say getting a
Okay.
gun is fun, and then like your intent
Okay.
is
Okay. No. No. No.
your
Hold on.
argument's
I understand.
fallacious.
Okay.
Yeah.
No. I understand. I understand. All right. Then I'd say, um, wow.
Hey,
There's
Plutus,
a
can I ask you like two
that
questions?
was crazy.
Plutus,
Getting a
while
gun
you
is
think about that, can
fun
I like
could
ask you?
be transformed into anything based on intent. I think it's required you convey your ideas for judgment. Niggas can't read minds.
Hello, yo, Plutus.
Yeah.
Well, Saucy's thinking. Wait, Saucy, do you have like an instant response, or do you mind if I like ask Pluto or something?
Oh yeah, I have a response.
You said, no.
Yeah, I have a response. Okay, so if you think that your interpretation of a person's words matters more than their intent when judging a debate, then I'd say that that's like a sort of faulty way to judge, because you would not be judging for the same reason that in a debate you can't argue against your interpretation of someone's argument rather than their intent, because it would be a straw man. I think
it's
if
the
we're
only way you
judging
can.
what
I think it's the only way you can judge. I think it's the only way you can interact with language.
you think, okay, you think the only way to interact with language is like reactionary
Yeah,
interpretation?
eventually you will always reach a position of interpretation. So yeah. Like even if you like
Eventually, okay,
explain to me what your position is, I still have to be
yeah, hold
interpreting
on.
this based on my understanding of the words you mean. So yeah. I
Okay,
think like no
all
matter
right,
how like
hold on. Do you think it's impossible for two people to have a fundamentally the same understanding of a concept or a word?
like what do you know? Okay, I don't think so I don't think it would ever happen in the real world.
Okay, so you don't think it's feasible?
Yeah, I don't think it's feasible for two people to have the same understanding of single words, let alone like
Okay, no,
complex
okay.
ideas.
Do you think it's feasible for someone to explain something and someone to understand their explanation true to their meaning?
No, I don't think a one-to-one. I
Okay,
don't think that's ever
all right.
feasible.
I said true to their meaning.
No, but even true to sure, possibly true to our meaning, but then if it's not a one-to-one, then you're still
Okay,
putting
no,
your
I,
subjective.
I'm not. Okay, and I'm not arguing about whether
Yeah,
it's possible or not. I just want to know whether, you specifically think that it's possible.
it's possible, but it doesn't matter.
Okay, it's possible, but it doesn't matter. Okay. All right. This is another one of the, I can't remember what the fuck the argument we were having at before. Where we just
Non-cognitiveness?
not where
We're
we just
talking
simply
about
disagreed. Okay, so this is what I understand. You say the only thing that matters when discussing someone else's argument as a judge is your interpretation of their
No,
argument
when it
and not
comes to
what they
making a judgment, like your judgment would be predicated on your
right,
understanding.
right. Okay. So what does not matter is this person's explanation of their argument, because there's a possibility that we do not understand their explanation true to their meaning.
So then there's always going to be like this gap, and then you can use like what they tell you to like shorten this gap, but there'll always be this gap here where you're still going
wait.
off of your understanding.
Hold on.
Okay,
Hold on.
so
Wait.
okay,
Let me just
so
make.
do you think superseding the goal? So you think the goal should not be to understand what they're saying because it's possible we can't understand what they're saying?
So I think the goal should be to try new thing, but then I think we're always going
Okay,
to be
so if
basing it
the
off
okay, hold
something
on.
else.
All right, then okay. Then you just conceded.
No, because
Because
like
you
that's
said,
the
okay, no,
thing
no,
to make.
hold on.
Yeah.
You said when judging a debate, what matters is your interpretation of their words and not what they mean, but you just said the goal is to understand what they mean.
Yeah, because we can never reach what they mean. Like what
Okay,
they mean is an
okay, hold on.
impossibility. So even if we
Alright.
0-1 on this thing, we're still not going off of what they
Okay,
actually mean.
all right. You're okay, dude. I don't want to. That's an improvable burden. You cannot prove that it's impossible to understand what someone means.
Again, and okay, but within context, it's quite clear what I'm trying to convey. Especially after you asked me what I meant by this, and I said
Okay,
infeasible.
okay,
Right?
all right, no, all right, unfeasible. Okay, you think it's unfeasible? All right, again, that's an unprovable claim. How would
No,
you go
it's not
about proving it?
unprovable. Okay, so we
Prove
can.
it.
Okay, so do you want to like go off neurology?
Uh, Joe, just give me
wait, hold on,
give
wait.
me
Yeah,
a
sure.
hold on. I just
Okay,
I just
sure,
want to
sure.
hear
So
I just want to
Saucy,
hear your
sure.
Just to make
explanation. Yeah.
sure, well, wait,
Yeah,
just to
sure.
make
You
sure,
have
'cause this whole
different
thing, this whole tangent might just be irrelevant. Saucy, what was your opinion on like who won between the infinite regress point?
The infinite regress point. This was
Yeah, he
the
tried to say
one
that my
we
argument
were
doesn't
talking
really
about.
work because then we wouldn't be able to objectively say, or it would just lead to an
Yeah,
infinite regress in
right.
which we wouldn't be able to
Yeah,
objectively
this
say
is
who actually won or lost.
the one where we were talking about axioms. I said you
Okay,
won
right,
because yeah.
but if Plutus, okay, wait, but this whole conversation being relevant, at least in the way in which Plutus is trying to like push it, is only relevant if I lose if we can objectively say whether or not someone won or lost, is it not?
No, we can't objectively say it like by definition.
Okay, right.
By what we
That's
feel
what
in
I'm
the
saying.
debate.
That's what
Yeah.
I'm saying, though. I'm saying
I'm
within
saying
the
that
debate.
doesn't matter.
Yeah, I'm saying that within the debate, I literally subscribe to that, though, so it doesn't really matter.
No, you're not listening. Midnight. So you're like, I don't think you understand what I said. Midnight. What we are arguing is like not relevant to that because what we're arguing currently is whether or not my head hurt. Yeah, so what we're arguing currently is to do with like the understanding of a debated argument, so that's relevant because it's about like our judgment being objective or not. The infinite regress was like a different point substantiating this. Like this current
No,
point is purely based on
my shit cut out. What did you say?
yeah, so this point is like about the way the judgment's reached, not about like the flaws within your system of judgment.
Yeah. Well, okay. Are you
So
talking
they're
about
two different
specifically?
things.
Are you talking about specifically in reference to like the whole like axiom shit? Or are you talking about
So
like
yeah,
my
I'm saying
sauce's
the
lecture?
axiom shit reaches the conclusion of okay. So I made two arguments. One of which was an infinite regress, which means we can never reach a certain
Yeah,
conclusion.
you're referencing the
The
first
other
one.
one was the mechanism being mind dependent, so we couldn't reach a certain conclusion. Those are two different arguments.
Okay,
Yeah,
right. And I
so
literally subscribed to both of them. I literally said yes, it does lead to an infinite regress.
No,
And
but then
yes,
Saucy's misunderstanding my position because my position was that if we have these things, then I could grant anything to be true. But I never granted that if this thing is an axiom and then we do not subscribe to it, then these things would be objective. I
wait, no,
didn't
but
grant that under your
Plutus,
system.
I said that what's it called?
What?
I said that the axiom you said his axioms would not lead to any subjective objectivities, but I disagreed with that.
No, I'm saying I wouldn't. Okay, so subjective objectivities under a system, but then I never grant those things would be like objective because like.
Okay, yeah,
so,
no, but all right, but I made a clear distinction between true objectivity and then objectivity
I know.
founded on top of
Yeah, that's what I
axioms.
meant when I said objectivity. So see,
Okay.
my entire point was basically I don't believe they lead to objectivity based on axioms. Because my entire
Yes,
point
and
was there's like a
and I
middleman.
disagreed with that. And
Yeah, that's what we're
the
talking
judge,
about.
I'll repeat the
Like-
judgment.
hold on,
Right?
wait. What's
I
your
do
disagreement, Plutus? I'm just trying to keep up on
Yeah,
technical.
my disagreement specifically on like this objective subjectivity being possible to reach. I don't think you can reach these things without these axioms.
Okay, but within the debate that was demonstrated, and we literally steelman.
No, it wasn't demonstrated. That's why I blatantly
Hold on,
just
wait,
disagreed with them.
but you steelmanned it and you never retracted it.
No, I didn't steal. I mean, what I steelmanned were the laws
You
of
said
logic
even.
objective.
Hold on, yeah, I
What I
literally said.
didn't steal,
No,
man.
wait, no. You did because
Oh, yeah.
I mean maybe I took me go back in the recording, but it literally said verbatim. Okay, the interpretations would all be subjective and they would all be necessarily unfounded, right? But if we put all of these necessary unfounded, necessary unfounded presuppositions, and we put them back down to like their most foundational level, all we would be left with is logic, right? And then you literally said, yeah, even if, and then you went on with your argument.
Yeah, because my entire point was that logic isn't sufficient to reach the conclusion.
Okay, right, but you never. Hold on, no. You said even if this is the case, we wouldn't really be able to reach like a mind independent conclusion, right?
No, not even that. Like even if this is the case, okay, so a minute. It's that even if we purely reach logic, we'd never be in a position where you could like verify one to be above the other. So kind of, but I never agreed that what Saucy's saying. I agreed that you could have more objective, subjective things. I didn't agree to that in this context.
Okay, wait, hold on. But whether or not something could be more objectively, subjectively, isn't like the entailment that I was deriving, though. You realize that, right?
That's but Saucy specifically said I like conceded to that we could reach like more objective, subjective things based on like the actions
I
of
just don't.
logic.
I just don't ever think that you ever attack me saying that me saying internally that I'm better than Dream is like ever wrong, or anyone doing this.
No, I didn't say it was wrong. I just said it wouldn't. I literally just said the negation would be true, and that just like doesn't fulfill your premise.
It does fulfill my premise, though. I never said I'm objectively better than
it
Dream.
fulfills your premise. Sorry, let me clarify. It doesn't fulfill your premise that more than it doesn't fulfill your premise in such a way that mine isn't also fulfilled. Sorry for the misspeak. Like
Bro,
both
It doesn't
arguments would
fulfill
be
my
equally as
premise in a way.
justified.
No, they wouldn't, because your argument literally. Okay, I literally said this at the end of the recording. I said that your entailment or the entailment of your argument leads to the conclusion that you can somehow come down to like a objective, mind independent conclusion on who won or lost the
Mind
debate,
independent,
which I think,
bro,
and which I think is a
I'm trying
logical
to dip, bro.
impossibility.
Y'all want me to like write out my judgment, dude? I am trying to.
I guess y'all niggas can talk about it later, because I'm pretty sure Blue is
Like,
gonna want to respond.
my stance was just like mind independent based on axioms can be reached with a judge.
Bro,
Mind
say nothing
independence
else.
based on axioms can't be reached without a judge. I don't think logic was sufficient to reach that.
Yeah, I just think that you just never refuted, like I said before, the internal fucking like winning or losing. I just don't ever think that you ever
I mean,
contended.
I didn't disagree with that. Like I mentioned that before you.
Okay, and if you never contended that, and you also
Wait,
acknowledged
just to
that
be
at the end of the
clear,
debate,
just to be clear, y'all niggas done, right? I could stop this recording
yeah,
and dip.
you can-
I
yeah.
bet.
I mean, again, the reason
But
why I
if you all-
disagree with
but
it is
if you
because I didn't
acknowledge-
fulfill your
If
premise
you
above
acknowledge
mine.
that, well, wait, but if you acknowledge
Alright,
that, and you literally stand on what I
hold
said
up, hold
before,
up.
Wait, hold
Midnight.
up. Wait,
Midnight,
actually,
let's
Ghetto
just-
Jen, Ghetto Jen, you want to talk about that Occam's razor thing?
Sure.
Yeah. So
Also, don't
the,
call him
what you
Ghetto Jin,
said,
just
what
call
you
him
said
Jin,
was
nigga.
Occam's razor. Hold on, let me scroll to the claim. What was it?
Again, like I didn't disagree with it. I mentioned it first. I just don't think it's like useful or relevant.
okay, yeah, but I
Okay.
literally made that. All right, let's just let the niggas talk. Whatever.
Right, Plutus. The main downfall of your argument is that you're claiming subjective objectivity. In my
Okay,
opinion.
hold on. All right,
Yeah,
so
it's
you
okay,
said
yeah.
okay, okay, all right.
That's
Ghetto
in my
Jen. So
opinion,
this is what I find to be weird. You say, yes, Occam's razor doesn't follow in every case, which is why I asked why I should abide by it in this case. And then you were asked, okay, in what case does Occam's razor not follow?
Yep.
And then you say, okay, well, in the case that the simplest conclusion is not true.
Yep.
But why does that mean Occam's razor did not follow in that case if you agree that Occam's razor is not claiming it to
do
be
you
true?
know what Occam's razor says?
I'm aware. I'm asking you the question. Okay, hold on. The
Wait,
question.
no. Before we go
Wait,
on,
bro. No,
no,
the
before-
answer.
no, no,
I just want to hear an answer to the question. That's
yeah,
it.
yeah. Okay, so you agree? Occam's razor
I
suggests.
just want to hear an answer. I just want to hear
Hold
an
on,
Yeah, I'm
answer.
answering your question. Like, stop.
Hold
What
up,
the hell?
hold up. Let me say
Okay,
what
no,
it-
you're asking me whether I agree to something. I just want an answer
No,
to
Yeah,
my
yeah.
so-
question.
Just trying to make
Sausage,
you
hold
understand what Occam's razor is, so there's no misunderstanding.
Okay, I understand what Occam's razor is. I just
Okay,
want an answer to my
so then
question.
let
People
me
don't
let what Occam's
let-
razor is,
let
and then
him
we
fucking say.
Can you just answer my question?
Okay, let me lay out what Occam's razor is, so you don't have anything else.
Can you answer the question?
Bruh, calm down.
Dude, I'm not here to talk to you about what Occam's. I just want an answer to my question.
Okay, so Occam's razor, you would agree. It suggests that the simplest
I
conclusion.
just want an answer to my question.
You would agree. It suggests the simplest conclusion is more likely than an extreme, like a what you call it, extreme one, like basically. Correct.
Is that your answer to my question?
Okay, Saucy, I'm
asking-
gonna just moderate. Saucy, just like before you guys can even get into the conversation on whether or not like what his interpretation of Occam's razor is better than yours is, obviously you guys would need to come down to like a mutual definition of what Occam's razor is.
Okay, no.
So it's just
Okay,
better
no.
that you disagree to what he's saying or disagree.
We already. All right, I'll re-ask the question. If you agree that Occam's razor does not claim that the simplest conclusion is true, why is it that in the scenario that the simplest conclusion is not true, defeat Occam's razor?
Okay. Would you agree that things that are true are just more likely than simple things?
Not given context, not
No,
inherently
oh,
given
wait,
context.
no. Got context or not doesn't change like the what
Yeah,
something is true or not.
in an objective sense. But okay, so
Yeah,
when
okay,
we hold on, wait, bro. When we reason with logic, we aren't omniscient beings. We reason using the knowledge that we have. So given the knowledge that I have, right, and I as an imperfect being, an imperfect, non all knowledgeable being, right, using the knowledge I have, Occam's razor will always give me what is the most likely conclusion, but that does not mean that if I did have all knowledge in the universe, that I could decide this was the most likely conclusion. I'm just deciding it's the most likely conclusion with the knowledge that I have.
Okay, so if you agree that Occam's razor, being simple, is going to be wrong in cases if you appeal to
I
the
okay,
conclusion.
but I disagree
And
with that. I disagree with
okay,
that.
okay. I'll bring you a scenario right now. There's two people in a room,
Uh-huh.
a cop and like a robber. The
Yep.
cop shoots his fucking gun, and the
Mhm.
robber didn't get hit. The simplest conclusion would be that the cop missed or like the robber dodged. If you assume like, if in a scenario if we say like the robber moved or something.
Yeah.
So, but right, what could actually happen is like the Flash, Barry Allen, Wally West, everyone to say blitz everybody's perception, and like just grab the bullet, save that robber. So that's the correct conclusion, right? But the simplest conclusion would be like, oh, the cop missed or the robber dodged, but
Yep.
it's wrong, right? So there's a scenario where Occam's razor, is trying to suggest that, oh, this simple conclusion, it's more correct than this extreme one, but like no,
Oh,
it's
okay.
not.
No. Occam's
Why?
razor. Occam's razor simply says the simplest conclusion is the likeliest, right?
Yeah,
But
and
what
I'm
that
telling you,
means
but
is okay. All right. I'll
no,
hold on.
no. But you would agree that if things are proven to be true, then this simplest thing cannot be more likely, just because it's simple. That like that Occam's razor
Okay.
is stupid. I'm trying to suggest that.
All right, bro. Okay. All right. Let me respond. So in the scenario that you gave me, with limited knowledge using Occam's razor, I would
Matter.
come to the conclusion. You have something
Why
you
does
want to say?
limited knowledge matter? Like all
Okay,
that means is that
because all right, whoa,
that was just for
bro. Okay, you're asking me a question then going on. All right.
Uh-huh.
So the reason limited knowledge matters is because logic is this thing that is not incompatible with objectivity, but we do not consider logic to be objective because logic is bounded by our knowledge. So if I make an argument, right? Let's say I'm not a Naruto debater, and the only thing I know about Naruto and like Land of Waves is that Kakashi killed Haku with like a Chidori or whatever, right? Midnight, bro, midnight.
No, fuck.
Okay. Right. The only thing I know about Land of Waves is that Kakashi killed Haku in a fight, right? I would come to the simplest conclusion of, okay, if Kakashi killed Haku, he's likely stronger than her or something along those lines, right? But that claim that I made is not necessarily illogical. Logic does not necessarily mean true. Logically, the case does not mean it's true. So if someone comes along and is like, no, that's just not what happened. Haku like sacrificed herself for Zabuza. That does not make the statement that I made illogical. It just means it's untrue. So why this is relevant? What?
I'm not saying it does. I'm saying that Occam's razor tries to push. I'm saying that Occam's razor tries to push the agenda.
Okay.
That this simplest conclusion is going to trump the higher the assertion, right? When that just doesn't have
That
to
is
be the case.
no. Okay.
Yes,
Okay.
it is.
Give
It
me
literally says the
that.
simplest
Okay.
conclusion.
No, bro. I want you to put that into a scenario for me. In what scenario you're referring to? Occam's razor does this.
Okay, and I gave you a scenario where where someone had a gun, Flash saved that shit, but they didn't see it. Like even if you don't have this widened scope of knowledge, it still would try to push the fact that like
Okay. All right. So okay. No.
He missed
All
the
right.
shot, and
Let me
and
ask
that
you a
is
question.
more likely.
Let me ask you a question. Let me ask you a question.
No, that is not true.
Okay. Hold on. All right. Okay. Then you're not listening. I am not saying it is true. Okay, bro. Hold on, bro. Okay. I am not saying it's true, and neither is Occam's razor. Occam's razor is just trying to.
Is more likely. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
Okay. All right. Okay. I hear you. All right. Do you think that in that scenario, with the knowledge that they had, do you think the conclusion the cop came to or the robber came to who did not perceive the flash, do you think that their conclusion is illogical?
I don't care if it's logical or not.
Okay, no, but all right, Occam's razor has to do with logic, not truth.
Bro, do you not think most likely things are logical?
Right, I'm talking about logic. You're talking about truth.
Bro, but truth and logic are compatible in some
okay,
way.
truth and logic are compatible when logic. If I have all knowledge, if I'm omniscient, my logic will be objective, right? But logic is bounded by knowledge. As I've said before, if I have limited knowledge on a subject, I can still make logical claims on that subject, but that does not mean my claims are true of the matter, right? We're discussing that, boy. You can join in if you want. So if I say that the cop, his conclusion is logical but untrue, what is wrong with that?
My point is that since we have a case to where this simple thing is just not most likely, you can't try to assert Occam's razor in that scenario because
Okay,
you
I'm
really
not
just
okay. Hold on.
someone
All right,
wrong.
you're still not listening. I'm not saying it's
No, but
objectively most likely.
I'm not saying
I'm
Occam's razor
saying
is objective.
okay.
That's my point. I'm saying if you agree that Occam's razor doesn't apply in this scenario, then you agree
Yeah,
that our
what's good,
case
that boy?
doesn't apply.
Yeah,
I think it does apply.
I think what Saucy's trying to say is something can be most likely the case, but not true. That's just the most likely the case of what it is, but it's not
Wait,
like 100% true. I think that's what
isn't
he's trying
Jen
to say.
just wait? But isn't Jen just arguing right now that it's not always true? I don't think he's
Yeah,
like
that's
made
my
it.
point.
right.
My point is that
He's
But
saying
my point is
Tulsi, he
that
hasn't
my
gone
point is
through
that
probability thing yet.
my
He's
point
all
is
he's
that
done.
my point is
but
if it's simple, right? If it's
I
simple,
think
but it's just wrong because this more extreme case just is proven to be the case because like the
okay,
flash
yeah,
act,
Okay,
right?
okay.
Jen,
No,
I
all right,
think
all right.
that
So Jin. Okay, all right.
It's also
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay, yeah. So Jen, I think that you're misunderstanding what he's saying. He's not disagreeing that Occam's razor can like not always be correct within the context of like probabilistic claims are always like gonna happen or whatever.
My point is that Occam's razor doesn't
I
always
don't
apply.
think
If you
Jin's
agree to
got.
that,
Wait a
then-
minute. I don't think Jin's
I think that's
finished
a
though.
misunderstanding. I think that the
I'm
misunderstanding
not
is
misunderstanding though. If anything, that means he agrees with me. If he's trying to
Wait,
say,
Midnight.
Jen, are you or are you not saying that due to this being the case, the Occam's razor would be invalidated?
fuck in that scenario, yes.
Okay,
Wait,
right.
so
no,
Midnight.
hold
Wait,
on.
Midnight. What? What made?
Wait. That's the misunderstanding at hand. Because when you say that, that implies that Occam's razor is saying that probabilistic claims are always true in every possible
No,
realm.
but
which isn't
I'm
what
saying
is at
Occam's
all.
razor pushes the agenda that this simplest conclusion is more likely. But I'm telling you.
Hold on. Wait, no, get
Okay,
it.
wait,
Let me give you an
hold
example.
on.
Hold on.
Finish
I want to give an
it,
example.
don't-
I want to give an
don't
example.
talk me up.
Jen, that's true, but it doesn't say anything like among the lines of probabilistic claims are true in every possible world. You do realize that, right?
Bro, my point is that Hoodie was calling me a rat for trying to say that because there are scenarios where Occam's razor doesn't apply because simple conclusion isn't the most likely thing. I'm like, that's not a rat. That just is the case.
Okay,
right?
no, we don't.
Doesn't
Okay,
always
no.
apply.
Okay, no.
But
Hold
if
on.
that
We
is
don't.
the
We
case,
okay. Hold
there is
on,
nothing
Jen.
wrong with me saying that
Jen, hold on.
position.
Wait. Okay, Jen. What?
What's
All
up?
right. What you're saying, your reasoning is not false, but your conclusion is just not following. Your conclusion. Okay, hold on. All right, bro. Let me finish. Your conclusion is that Occam's razor is invalidated by these extreme cases, right? But what Occam's razor claims has nothing to do with the case of truth. So if Occam's razor, if I say, okay, there's an 80% chance that this thing is going to happen, and that thing doesn't happen, my claim that there's an 80% chance of it happening is still a true claim.
I think it
Wait,
no. I
Saucy,
think
why
it,
is it true though?
It's Saucy.
Okay, all right, let's say.
If it's proven to be false, it's not
okay,
true.
no, hold on. All right, get it in. Let's say I line up 8 women, okay?
Right.
Okay. I put like fucking bags over each woman's head, right?
Okay.
And like 2 of them are like, I don't know, let's say I have 2 sisters. 2 of them are my sisters, right? So 6 out of these 8 women, I would not mind shooting with this gun that I'm holding, this imaginary gun that I'm holding. I have no idea which one. I can't see their body. I can only see their head, and it's covered by like a bag or some shit, right? So I have a 6 out of 8 chance to shoot someone that I have no problem shooting, right?
Okay.
But I shoot one of my sisters. If I made the claim that it is likely that I do not shoot one of my sisters because there's a 6 out of 8 chance I don't shoot one of my sisters, is that claim untrue by me shooting one of my sisters?
Well, if we found out that you did shoot one of your sisters, that would contradict your previous
okay, how does it contradict the statement?
Because then you would feel regret, remorse, and you would like true recline that.
Wait, hold on. Say it one more time.
I said then once you figure out you actually shot one of your sisters, you would feel like regret, remorse, you will feel sad, and you'll
no. What's the contradiction? What is the contradiction?
The contradiction is that you're saying you're just fine, but you find out later that you shoot your sister, You feel regret,
Wait,
remorse.
what are you talking? Okay.
Midnight.
All
Okay.
right. Does anything
Bro,
contradict the
yes,
claim
I'm
that
saying
there's
that
a
the
six?
claim, the
Okay, hold
claim.
on. No, I'm talking about a specific claim. Does
Yeah, okay.
anything contradict the claim that there is a 6 out of 8 chance that I do not shoot my sisters? Does
What?
anything
That's just
contradict that?
Yes.
Does anything contradict that?
Yeah.
What are you
No,
talking
no,
about?
unironically, yes.
Oh
After
my
you
god,
charge
bro,
sisters,
Plutus.
1 out of 1. I don't know.
Okay, all right, Plutus. How is that claim contradicted?
Okay, so sure, like you were just wrong when you said about the 6 out of 8 chance because after you've done this
Actually,
thing,
hold on.
after that
Wait,
you
are you a
start.
necessitarianist?
I don't. Wow.
Wait,
that-
No,
look
Plutus,
at that adder.
Plutus, are you a necessitarianist?
It doesn't matter to my claim, but
Are you answer the question? Yes,
no,
are you a
no, it's also
necessitarianist?
like it's like
Okay,
asking
no.
if my
Do you
dick
think
Wait.
do you think that anything that happens necessarily will happen?
if you're looking at it backwards, sure. For like
Okay, all right, shut the fuck up. All right. Go ahead, Ghetto Jack.
Jen,
Okay.
all he
Oh.
said, right, was that he has no problem with shooting 6 of these people,
I
not the
know.
other followers.
I know 60 people. I
That's
know.
not
it's
what
not
he
fair.
Yeah.
said. That's
So
not what
I'm
he
my
said.
point is that if he shot 1d6 people, well, 1d like 8 people, like he shot 6 of them, and one of them was a sister, he would let half
No,
of
no, I shoot one. No, I shoot one of them.
Okay, even if
I
you
shoot
shot one
one.
of them, if that one person was your sister, you would track your previous
Yeah.
claim. Like, oh, I feel
Wait,
bad.
wait, wait,
Okay,
wait, wait.
what? Okay,
No,
what
no, hold on,
statement?
hold
What?
on.
Hold
Wait,
on.
okay,
What
wait,
statement that I?
Sophie,
What is the
Sophie,
statement
hold
that
on,
I'm retracting?
Wait, let me just give it a different analogy because I feel like
I just want to
you
know.
guys are
I just
kind of
want to know
arguing over
what. No, but
something.
okay,
You
nah,
guys
but
are arguing
midnight.
over something which
Nah,
isn't
but
really the
midnight.
point,
Midnight.
though.
He said there was a contradiction. A
Yes,
contradiction to what? What is
you
contradicting?
said that you will be fine with shooting like one of these 8 people, right? But then there's
Okay.
scenario.
Okay,
where one
no,
of
I
these
said 6 out of the 8 people I
Okay,
would be
6 out
fine
of the 8
shooting. I
people,
didn't
one
say
of
I would be fine.
6,
What?
6, 8, sure, whatever number you want to use. But if one of those people that you shot, was
That's
your
the
sister,
point.
you would feel regret. You would feel remorse, and you would
What are
contradict
you
yourself.
talking,
No.
bro? I don't.
And
What?
the point is that he wouldn't feel bad for shooting these specific people. Not that he wouldn't feel bad for his sister, that he shot his
No,
sister. That he wouldn't feel bad for.
That's
That's
not
not
the
the
point.
point. You're missing the
Sosa,
point.
that's my point though. Sosa,
Yeah,
that's
that's
my
what I'm.
point though.
That's
Oh
why
my
I'm saying.
God.
That's why I'm saying we should just bring up a different analogy because
All
Sosa,
right,
that's my
sure.
point
Okay,
though. Sosa.
let's
I'm
say.
saying
All
you
right,
would
let's
have
say.
to.
Let's say I have 100. Okay, let's say I have 100 houses on this block. All right,
Right.
it's just a big ass fucking block with 100 houses. Right, and in 80 out of these 100 houses, there is a car. Right, 80 out of the niggas that live in these houses have cars. Right, so if I were like a fucking robber or some shit, and I wanted to rob one of these niggas, right, and I wanted to steal a car, and I get dropped in a random one of these houses, is it wrong for me to say there's like an 80% likelihood that I land in a house with a car?
Bro, what? That's just simple probability. It's like, what the
Okay,
hell is
all
wrong
right,
with
okay, all right.
That's
All
the point.
Occam's razor. Okay, all Occam's razor is all it does is allow you to make probabilistic claims, right?
The-
If I'm using Occam's razor, all I'm doing is making a probabilistic claim. I'm not saying that something is affirmatively the case.
Okay, I see what
But
you're saying.
my point is,
saying.
I'm trying to say is that Occam's razor puts the agenda that the simplest conclusion is the what's called the more probabilistic claim when for one that isn't true, and second the agenda doesn't doesn't have to follow in any case, which I was trying to say with Hoodie for calling me dishonest because I'm definitely not dishonest for even saying that because like that's
Okay,
just
yeah. So all right. So I think the part where we're disagreeing the most on is when you say Occam's razor says something is likely the case. I think when Occam's razor says something is likely the case, all right, well, when someone uses Occam's razor to say something is likely the case, that is necessarily bounded by their knowledge. If I make the claim, right, and I say, well, via Occam's razor and the knowledge I have, Kakashi's stronger than Haku because Kakashi killed Haku in Land of Waves. I have no further context of knowledge in my brain. If I say that claim, that is a logical claim. I can logically
would
say,
you not agree?
okay,
Would you not agree making claims without evidence of being ignorant though? Well, without further evidence.
I think reasoning is evidence.
Nah, but
Holy shit! What the
you're
fuck?
lacking extra reasoning that would obviously change your conclusion.
What extra
would you not agree
reasoning?
that's ignorant?
Okay, what extra? If I already have reasoning, why is there a need? Okay, hold on, bro. You can you let me finish a sentence?
You ask what cases would the ignorance be present?
What?
You were going to ask in what cases would the ignorance be present?
Oh, what? No, I was gonna ask if I already have reasoning. Why is there a need for extra reasoning?
Okay, and like I was trying to tell you, if extra reasoning leads to a change of conclusions, right? You would agree that disregarding this extra reason would be ignorance, correct?
Okay, do you mean knowledge or
Reasoning, knowledge, whatever words you want to use for it, doesn't matter.
what? Okay, no. I have a very clear distinction between reasoning and knowledge in my mind. Can you
Okay, well,
define both of those
I
things?
don't care. Like, it don't
Okay,
matter.
no, can you, I just, dude, I just define. I need to know what you're saying because what you're saying doesn't compute in my brain.
But just say what you're saying. I'll translate it for Saucy. Go ahead.
Bro, all I'm saying is that
He said no. He's using reasoning and knowledge interchangeably.
Just let him say it. I'm probably gonna understand.
yeah,
Just go ahead.
because like
Okay.
because because in any scenario, if you just apply more reasoning or more knowledge, it would in some cases change the conclusion of a
Okay, all right,
statement.
right. Okay,
So,
yeah. So
I'm using
when
examples.
when
I think-
when I make the claim, right? If I'm again a Naruto casual, all I know is Kakashi kills Haku in a fight, right? If I
Right.
say, well, it's likely the case that Kakashi's stronger because Kakashi killed her in a fight, that claim has absolutely nothing to do with the knowledge external to the knowledge that I have. That is only internal knowledge.
My point is that if you ignoring this external knowledge means that you're being ignorant to some extent, and if you're being ignorant,
No, but I'm not. Okay, I'm not ignoring this extra
You
knowledge
are. You're
because
literally-
I'm
you're
okay.
literally
No,
excluding
Hold on.
literally
Okay. All right. Let me rephrase. Let me rephrase this. If I have no knowledge on something, and because I have no knowledge on it, I choose not to make an affirmative claim, or I choose not to make a claim on
Okay, so
it.
you're being
Do
ignorant
you
on
think?
purpose.
Do you? Okay, hold on. Okay, what if I choose not to make a
Yes,
claim on
yeah, I
something
know,
because
my
I
point-
know
yeah.
I'm, bro? Let me finish.
Go ahead.
Okay, if I choose not to, like, let's say I'm a fucking fiction debater, I don't want to go into politics, and I know nothing about politics, right? And someone makes a claim that Joe Biden is a bad president, and I have no knowledge on this, so I choose not to make a claim or not to try to refute it because I have no knowledge on it. Do you think that's illogical, or do you think that's like perfectly fine? What do
Bro,
you
that
think
you
about
just
that?
you just wouldn't have made a claim on that. That doesn't apply to cases where we make claims.
Okay, so I think that's exactly what is happening in the case when someone uses
No, in the
Occam's.
case of
Okay,
Naruto,
hold
you brought
on,
up
bro.
making a
Okay,
claim,
bro,
like,
hold
you're
on,
different scenarios.
bro,
Like, why can you equate that?
bro.
We're talking
Thank
about
you.
cases to which we
Okay,
make
bro.
claims.
Okay. Now, I'm gonna
Yes,
draw.
you-
I'm gonna draw a parallel now.
The
right?
parallel.
Okay.
The parallel
All right,
could be
dude.
debunked.
All right, bro. I'm just gonna serve review you. Okay. The parallel that I'm gonna draw is that when someone
Alright,
says something
Saucy,
is
Saucy, hold on,
probabilistically forbidden,
hold on,
I will
Saucy.
ban you. I will ban you if you say
No,
another
no,
word.
no, hold on,
I will
hold on.
actually ban you if you say another
Brother,
fucking
brother,
word.
hold on.
If I get and the next nigga that interrupts me, I swear to God, I will ban you from the fucking server.
Bad me, nigga. Bad me.
Look,
That's
Bad me,
crazy. You
nigga.
should kill yourself.
I just want to explain to you, right,
was that?
that you don't need to mute him.
Someone who's banned.
You don't need to mute him for a second, right?
I didn't
You
mute,
just
bro.
need to explain to him.
Okay,
that
then
you
I'll
need to
ask.
shut the fuck
Okay,
up.
then I'll ask. Okay, wait, forbidden. Then how many? All right. I'll ask someone to moderate. Who has perms in there?
Yeah, I'll moderate.
Yeah, just ask
All
someone
right,
to
good.
moderate.
Midnight
That's-
moderate.
yeah,
Okay,
there you
so
go.
this is the parallel that I'm gonna draw. If you have no problem with a fiction debater not making claims on politics because they don't have knowledge on it, the parallel would be in this case. If I have the knowledge that Kakashi killed Haku in a fight, that is the only knowledge that I have. The claim that I'm making, or the probabilistic claim that I'm making, is, let's say, a show of what's it called, epistemic humility, because I know there is knowledge that I do not have. I know that there could be further context that changes this conclusion. So I am not making an affirmative claim. What I'm saying is, okay, from the knowledge that I do have, this is the conclusion that I could come to, but I am not making any claim on any knowledge that I don't have. So if you think the fucking fiction scenario is fine, what's the problem with this scenario?
Okay, like I was trying to tell you beforehand, in the politics scenario, it's a fiction debater not want to even talk about politics at all. So they're making a non-claim.
Yeah,
But
and
for
they're
the fiction
in my
debater- but for the- wait,
scenario.
no. But for the
Wait,
fiction
Saucy,
debater,
Saucy,
they had evidence, they had some sort of level of like knowledge and reasoning, and they actually are making a claim. You are equating a claim.
Okay,
to
no, they're
non-claim.
but they're only
You
okay,
cannot
but they're
equate a claim to
only
non-claim.
okay. Hold on.
No.
But they're
Wait, Saucy, let him
only
finish,
making
Saucy,
a
let him finish,
claim.
please. Saucy,
He
try not to
just bro. He
interrupt.
just
No,
finished the claim.
he was still going and you were interrupting.
Okay.
You're trying to correlate a claim and a non-claim. They do not correlate. A non-claim is when someone does not try to assert anything. They quiet. They're just looking there like being silent. Like they listen to a speech like fucking the Donald Trump shit, right? But a claim is when like people actually get into debating or they're discussing.
I know what a I know what a claim is.
Okay,
Okay,
so
I'm
then,
I'm
like,
just gonna respond to that.
that's all
Okay,
I'm gonna say.
so all right. The parallel that I drew is not actually I don't think that what's the fact that in one scenario one person's not making a claim, in another scenario one person is making a claim. I don't think that actually makes the analogy disanalogous, right? Because what I'm talking about is the reasons behind their actions. So the reasons that in that scenario where the person doesn't make a claim is because they have no knowledge. So in the scenario that you do have knowledge, only some knowledge, you make a claim on the knowledge that you do have, and then you don't make a claim on the knowledge that you don't have. So if you see no problem with someone making a claim on knowledge that they do have, then I don't see how you're disagreeing with me here.
Yeah, I do think the example of a non-claim and a claim does show how the analogy is discontinuous because the analogy is trying to draw a conclusion from the fact that someone isn't answering someone isn't answering to show something.
You're a
but
fucking spaz.
what happened?
I'm sorry, man. Again, you're a fucking retard. My
I
fault.
have no idea, bro. I have no idea what we're talking about this one.
Jay, you sound like Sunday there.
He just sounds like Sunday.
I'm sorry, but
No
nigga,
cap,
you're
you sound
like,
like Sunday.
I'm not gonna lie, Jim being like a spastic. I don't know if he's doing it on
No,
purpose, but he's being like a genuine spastic.
Jay. Lead him to it, okay? Don't quit.
It's actually making me sad. Like I want to delete my whole server for this.
Can y'all niggas just leave this nigga alone? Like shit, let the nigga argue.
Right.
All I'm saying is, if y'all think like
Hologen, Jay, and that's for anyone else as well. Let
Shut up,
Saucy
nigga.
and Jin argue, right?
Shut up,
Midnight
nigga.
is
I've
the
never stopped
mediator.
them. I never stopped them, nigga. Shut up.
I mean, yeah, it seems as if
You
like
did
they turned
stop
into
me
like a
again
formal
because you
debate.
cut him
No, I
Wait,
didn't.
okay,
Hop
wait,
off
just to
the-
clarify between them. Okay, just to clarify between y'all two niggas. Is it like a formal debate or is it still an open discussion? Because if it is,
It's
then Jake can hop
definitely
in.
an informal debate.
yeah, like I mean, I don't care if you like come to give your like two
Alright.
piece, but like this is like come on nowhere and say like, oh, you're retarded. Like I'm like, bro, that's like you're so random.
Okay, right.
No,
That's what I'm
no.
saying. Yeah.
Look.
Like if you're gonna put your input in it, just only make it in reference to arguments. Don't just like
Midnight.
randomly insult. That's like
Okay.
weird.
Midnight.
All
It's
right,
a
all right.
discussion
So,
slash informal
okay, then
debate.
in that case,
Hold on, Saucy.
then in that case, hold on. Then
Yeah.
get
Okay.
it
Yeah.
then.
Forbidden. Obviously, by
Bruh.
definition, it's an informal debate.
It's,
But
in
like
my
an
opinion,
argument that they
it's literally a discussion slash informal debate with you being a mediator if they get out of hand. That's it.
right. But they literally agreed that other people, like third parties, can join in and give their 2 cents in reference to arguments.
Yeah,
Just not like
yeah,
insults.
but him trying to fucking insult is not an argument. That's what I'm
Yeah.
saying.
Yeah. Right. Yeah. Yeah. We both agree with that. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all right. So I'm writing this down real quick. So you agree that making a claim on knowledge that you do have is fine, right?
To some extent, sure. Hold on, my mom's calling me.
Yeah. Bro, I hate those pussyfoot answers, bro. Oh my god, to some extent.
I mean, is it,
fucking,
like,
I
most is
fucking
not
hate those.
necessary?
And nah, whenever some nigga says some shit like that, you just know some bad faith shit about to happen or some retarded shit, bro. Oh my god, I'm out
I
of
mean, in my opinion, I think that you're right. But
So
yeah,
see,
whatever.
these kind of things happen a lot in like or happened a lot in the debating community before.
Nah, but when you do shit like that, it just becomes so hard to progress.
I
Because then I
know,
gotta ask you, like, oh, so to what
In this
extent are you
scenario, you
talking
think
about?
it's
It's like,
right?
bro, like just fucking, like just
Saucy,
answer the question.
I went through all of that. I
Let me
fully
see.
get it, and I fully get Jin, right?
Making a
It's
claim
just-
on knowledge that you, bro, that's not even nothing crazy. Making a claim on knowledge that you have, that's just.
Hold up.
That should be a no-brainer. Just
Yeah, I don't even.
that's
I
like,
don't even
oh
know
my
what
god.
instance you can make a claim about. I mean, I guess I could
the
see.
reason why I let Midnight be the mediator is because right now I'm just too intoxicated, and I'm literally I'm just using this shit.
Thank you for thank you for telling us.
Thank you for that.
Thank you for telling us that.
This should just go by as background noise. Otherwise, I would actually care about this shit.
That is real.
Thank you for telling us that, Forbidden. I think we already gathered.
Bro, I'm about to fucking.
Bro, I don't think I've ever VC with this nigga Forbidden when he wasn't either like drunk or like high or intoxicated in some way.
That's why I said. That's why I said that we already knew.
I've been drinking for the last fucking 6 hours, so
I'm not surprised.
well,
Fucking
you don't have to
alcohol.
be surprised.
Fucking alcohol. Oh, that's good.
No, it's literally just
Nigga,
I would
nigga
actually
will
care
drive.
about the debate.
Nigga drives a forklift. Nigga drives a forklift like drunk. It's crazy.
No, I actually don't.
Yeah, you do.
I'm just off.
Are y'all niggas
I'm
still
just off
linking?
work till Saturday.
Nigga Jay and Forbidden. Y'all niggas still linking or nah?
That nigga just like he
Me,
was like, I'm
hold on,
too
what's up?
drunk. I'm too drunk. I can't get on the train.
Me and Jay.
Not now.
I mean, we
Yeah,
can.
weren't
we
you
can
guys gonna
link-
like meet up at some point?
We can link up at some point. Yeah.
He never like he said he was gonna, and then he just
I
said no.
was gonna link up, but like my boss cancelled my holiday, and then he reinstated it, so I couldn't actually book train tickets in time.
No.
Like booking train tickets is not long. I don't know why you said that.
Bro, all the fucking good train tickets are gone.
That's fair.
Bro, I would literally pull up at like 6 p.m., get drunk, wake up at 6 a.m. and have to go back. That's just not good train tickets. I was gonna pull up like 8 a.m. so we can actually spend some time in Sheffield.
Yeah.
Maybe next year, yeah.
I'm
Maybe
back.
next year. Oh shit.
Yo, Saucy, you still there?
Crazy.
Yeah, hold on. I'm writing out some things, and I want you to tell me what you disagree with that I'm writing out.
Jay.
Ghetto Gen.
Somewhere around
What's
February.
up? Go for it. My birthday's in February. Can link up.
Your birthday's in February when?
Yeah, 13th.
13th. I'll look if I can book some holidays.
Word.
What do you want for your birthday? I'll pull up.
A fucking drink, nigga.
A drink. What kind
Why
of
ain't
drink?
y'all just the cutest little couple?
SRW, fix your mic.
Ain't y'all just the cutest dick rider, nigga? Like fuck off.
Okay, all right.
Jay.
Look in Overworld, Ghetto Gen. Do you disagree with any of the claims made there?
Let me see.
Jay, what kind of drink you want? What kind of alcohol you like?
Whiskey, nigga.
Whiskey? What kind of whiskey? Bourbon? Single malt?
Ooh. Single malt.
Single malt. Alright, bet. I'll bring
Uh-huh.
a bottle of Black Label with me. Yeah.
But I have like a bunch of nigga who's snoring.
Is Kentai fucking? Oh my fucking god!
Ban this nigga.
I can't even. Why can't I disconnect him?
Because you're not a voice mod.
He's
I
that
server
nigga.
muted him.
He is that
I
nigga.
just DC him.
Yo, Jay.
No, I had
Jay,
the option to disconnect him, but when I clicked on it, it just didn't work.
Hold on,
What's up?
Jay. Why do I not have a voice mod, huh?
He didn't ask for it.
I did ask, nigga. You literally said whoever can get this fucking line gets voice
Yeah,
mod,
you-
and I just told you like a day later without even reading
Yeah.
the past lines, and you just ignored me, nigga.
Oh, I think I
literally
thought I
told you,
replied to
you
everyone.
fucking
I told
TFS.
every, but yeah, I know. But everyone like gets what you call it. But like someone already got it. Like if everyone was able to do it, like everyone would have VC mod.
Yeah, but here's the thing: no one else was able to do it other than that nigga, and I didn't even read.
Wait, Ghetto Gen, do you see the? Hold on, I'll open it here.
Seen it.
He passed on his VC mod to someone else.
Yeah, I don't care. Give me voice mod.
Saucy can do it if he wants.
Saucy, give me voice mod, nigga.
Hold on. Where's this? There you go.
Like I'm playing a game right now, so I can't really give you anything.
That's fine. Cheers.
Otherwise, I would have already done this shit.
Yeah, no worries. What are you playing, by the way?
All right, so making a claim on
Archive
knowledge that you have is fine. When using Occam's razor, where you make probabilistic claims using the knowledge that we have, fully aware that these claims are subject to possible fallibility given extra knowledge. Occam's razor does not claim anything to be true, and if an omniscient logical being used logic, it would be objective.
I think the first one is fine if you agree that in some scenarios you're being ignorant.
Okay, no. So if you look at the second claim, it's that you make these claims while perfectly privy to the knowledge that you do not have all knowledge in the universe. When I say that an apple is red, I know that it's possible that my brain could not be working and maybe it's not even red. All apples are like, all right, I'm just making these claims based on the knowledge that I have, and I know that I'm not an omniscient being.
Okay, so are all these claims supposed to be together or just supposed to be separate? Because they're separate. Then,
Okay,
like,
yeah, they're all separate things.
okay, so if they're all separate things, then what I said for the first one is fine.
Okay. So, do you have a problem with me saying that Occam's razor does not claim anything to be true?
I think it claims the probability of things, and I think
Okay.
if it's
Yeah.
claiming
So,
if it's claiming
yeah.
the probability of things, it is claiming that that's true to some extent. Yes, I do
What
think
then? What is? Wait. Then what is true?
it's trying to claim that the simplest conclusion is most likely the case. It's trying to say that's true.
That okay? That is true. That it's most likely the case.
Yeah. Trying to say
Okay.
that's
Then all right. So, but you don't think that it being the case is that's not a claim that's being made as like an affirmative that it is the case. It's just true that it's likely the case.
No, I think what they're affirming is like the probability claim, which I think didn't like. If
Yeah.
we're
Okay. So the probability claim.
yeah, we're talking about if we're talking about like it's not making an objective claim, sure, but if we're talking about like just them making a true claim in general and their
Yeah.
opinion, I do think it is making
Yeah.
that type.
So all right,
Hold on,
then
hold on, hold on,
refer.
hold on.
Then look at the second
Since-
claim. The
since
second
this is
claim
an
is that
open debate, right?
when hold on, when using Occam's razor, we make probabilistic claims using the knowledge that we have. Do you have any problem with me saying that?
Since this is an open debate now,
Yeah.
as you two have already said, I do have a problem with the second claim, right?
What?
It doesn't matter what what knowledge you have. It just matters what is the simplest claim to Occam's razor. It does not care for what knowledge you have. It's just what simplest claim is. What the simplest claim that you propose is.
Okay, yeah, no, but
towards the
if
argument.
I don't okay, if I'm using Occam's razor to reach a given conclusion, I can't reach a conclusion that's beyond my knowledge.
But if your opponent gives a simpler claim within whatever knowledge they have, or within whatever knowledge that
Yeah,
is
so like
possible.
if
Hold on,
right,
hold on,
okay, so
hold
if
on,
there is
don't cut me
extra
off, don't cut
knowledge
me off.
given. Now look at the second part of the claim.
Yeah.
Fully aware that these claims are subject to possible
Yeah.
fallibility given extra knowledge.
Yeah, but it
So if
doesn't
there
have
so
to be
if
extra
someone
knowledge given.
Huh?
There doesn't have to be extra knowledge given. Someone
Okay,
can literally make
then
a more
it
complex
Yeah.
complex conclusion within the
a
knowledge
more
given.
a more complex conclusion or a simpler conclusion?
A more complex conclusion given, and then that more complex conclusion will be dismissed by Occam's razor. Because
More
Occam's razor literally says the simplest conclusion follows.
Yeah,
Okay, all right. Yeah, Occam's razor says that the simplest conclusion logically follows, but I don't
Yes.
think logically follows means true.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. But that doesn't. That's what I'm saying. I'm not contesting the third claim. I'm just contesting the second
Yeah.
claim. It doesn't matter what
Right, and
knowledge you have.
the second claim. Okay, no, the second claim. It does matter what knowledge you have.
No, it doesn't, because anyone can have the same knowledge, but someone can propose a more complex conclusion from the same knowledge.
Yeah. Okay. But all right, I don't think you're. Okay. If I'm using Occam's razor, like I'm employing it into a debate, it's obviously because one person or the other has to be making a more complex conclusion and therefore a more illogical conclusion or a less logical conclusion.
But it could even be you use the person that claims Occam's razor that makes the more complex conclusion. That's why I said that's why I'm having
Okay,
contention
yeah,
with it, saying,
okay, all right.
we
I'm
make
not,
more
bro.
probabilistic claims.
Humans, bro. Humans don't have. Okay, I don't get what you're trying to argue here, because
if
I've
you
never.
don't cut me off,
Hold
I'll
on.
explain it.
You just, bro. There's no. You actually have to be some sort of spastic. You're actually delusional.
Oh my
Wait,
God.
no. Was anyone
Okay.
following that conversation just now? Please unmute and tell me I'm not being. No. Hold on. Did that nigga? Nah. Fuck that. Nah. Did that nigga not shut the fuck up? I start talking and he's like, "You're in a nah." Fuck that nigga. I'm gone, nigga.
Damn, bro.
This is look. I just look. If this was like an anime, I would have literally just appointed my extra skill, piss people off.
What is this nigga cooking?
Look,
Did he leave?
What's up? He left. You know
Rip.
You know how easy I can piss people off just by being.
Yeah, bro. That was